Record. Hey, welcome. Are we live? Are we on the internet? Who we got in chat? Hey, we got a couple of peeps. Rock says the welcome. Hello and welcome. Yeah, much better oration. Hello and welcome to DC30 and our Mythic Odyssey of Theros, and we are back from our Easter break. I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter. As always, D&D with an ancient Greek twist. I am your Dungeon Master, Romeo, and I am joined, as ever, by the irascible Ali, Moss, Tamara, and Rebecca. Virla and Amalia, Violet, I do apologize, are unavoidably detained, one for the moment, the other possibly for the session, due to a combination of illness and family holiday and stuff like that, so we may have to have a little bit of Jaegering going on, and we wish them both well and hope they'll rejoin us soon. I don't have any particular announcements, so unless anybody else has any objection, why don't we get cracking?
Do it.
I believe last we left off, you guys had been on a bit of a speed run of various different missions in order to raise funds, in order to... Oh my god, there is a little... behind your shoulder, Rebecca. Other shoulder.
That's genuinely unnerving.
It was genuinely unnerving. It made me stop mid-track. That is... Good job. Good job. Tell your husband he fucking hell, I have lost my train of thought entirely. He brought me to a screeching halt. Tell him I said congrats.
We found the BBEG.
Yeah, there we go.
Rebecca's husband.
I will straight up have him like pose in like mini situation, like dress him up as well.
For what it's worth, okay.
Oh, you'd be up for that?
100%.
Amazing.
It's canon now.
But yes, so you guys were attempting to raise funds in order to potentially acquire a couple of things, including maybe ship upgrades and a guild hall of some description, or a stronghold of some description. One involved the slaying of a vampire who decided to make use of his lack of needing air to adapt to an underwater environment, putting you guys at a disadvantage. And now you guys have undertaken a quest to see why the local Griffon population seems to be abnormally aggressive. You've tracked down a known nearby nest, having arrived finally at a... What are they called again? Karst. At a nearby karst that is jutting out from the main coastline. And I believe that is where we come to now. So, let me just make sure that isn't too loud. It should be fine, but there we go. I'll drop that down ever so slightly. Okay, perfect. So, if you guys have a look at Foundry, you should be able to see what you guys can actually see at this time. For simplicity's sake, can I ask that Ali Jaeger Amalia and Morse Jaeger Virla? Or Hilira, sorry.
Not a problem.
No problem.
Okay, so you're standing face to face with this enormous sea cast. The bridge in front of you appears to be destroyed. What are you guys doing?
Can I quickly confirm? I need to set Foundry up on my portable laptop. We have long rested.
Yes,
I think I'm still... Okay, well, I'm going to action that for Skatinos.
Since the vampire? Oh god, yes.
How far would you say is the gap between these two cliffs?
I can tell you exactly. 70 feet.
70 feet, right. I have 50 feet of hempen rope, so we can so if we have another length of rope, we can easily stretch the gap, and we can lob We can throw a spear across. We can throw something across the chasm. Try and make a simple bridge, or we can try and climb down, and then climb up again.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we just fly up 2 by 2 with plummet?
I mean, yeah.
If we got attacked while just 2 people are waiting there, or like 1 person is waiting there, that would be bad.
Well, remember, you've got a barbarian and a fighter, both of whom are very tanky. Just leave one tanky person on each side to tank damage, whilst and plus everyone else is really supremely powerful.
Roll a survival check.
Oh, good. I'm good at those. Ooh, nice. That's a 14. Not nice. It was a 7 + 7.
Okay, with a 14, I will say this. You don't get all the information, but as you guys are discussing the possibility of flying, it does feel quite breezy. That's all I'll say with a 14.
Okay. Listen, chaps. It's really windy here. Can Plummet really handle a gust of wind in the wings? It might take them supremely. Of course, he might, God forbid, plummet. Plummet might plummet.
I've been there before. We've got Featherfall, right?
I mean, I suppose I can be ready with that if need be. But I have to be within a certain range. Well, I'll stay at the bottom. I'll be one of the last to go. So if one of you does fall, I'll catch you in the last 60 feet.
And because of the preceding 1,000 feet, you basically Gwen Stacy them.
I just close. Yeah, I'll close my eyes and just shout when you're about to die. That'll be fine.
How deep is the chasm, DM?
Make a perception check.
Ooh. Let me do that right now.
I also do have some climber's gear.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
me
Another
too.
50 feet I have another 50 feet of rope as well.
Awful
Same.
today. Just a 10.
It's hard to tell. I'll say this, with a 10, it is hard to tell, but that speaks to the height.
Okay, so this is not a fight, a fall we can easily... We would survive if we fell.
You get the
Kingfish
sense
moment?
that most of you would not survive the fall. If you were to straight up hit the rocks.
But we're gods!
Not
Don't know where I
yet.
got this from.
It's not white stone cliffs high.
Okay, alright, fine.
Just wondering if it would be easier to tell than No, okay. Between 300 and 500 feet with a 10, I'll say you can get the sense between 300 and 500
Okay.
feet. As the record as well, the cliff that you guys are on is lower than the cast. The cast is sort of where the 300 to 500 feet is. You guys are a little bit lower than that. The map doesn't do the best job of conveying it, but the section that is jutted out is taller than you guys. To explain.
I think Hilera should also have the fly spell in case that helps. Yeah,
I believe she did prepare that. I
Okay, so...
will check for you. Spells.
Do you all hear that humming?
No.
no?
Nope.
Maybe you have tinnitus.
It's got your screen completely lit up on green. And when I turn my volume down, I hear nothing.
Who's on green?
I have Romeo completely lit up as green the entire time.
Maybe that's the
I mean,
ambient sound?
My computer's fan is going, but
Yeah, Yeah, that's the only thing I could potentially think it be, because I've just changed up to 200, and all I can hear is a shh.
Yeah,
there is the sh of the waves, but that's it.
Are the waves, like, kind of low for you guys, or are they...
They're all right.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought as well, so... Sorry, I'll keep an ear out, Rebecca.
Okay, it's over now. It's done.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Okay, so 3rd level spells on Hilira. She does have fly prepared.
Yeah, so we have 3 climbers kits, we have 3 hempen ropes, we have plummet, we have fly.
If I cast it at 5th level, I can make 3 people fly?
Yeah.
We also don't want to run out of all our power, I suppose, by the time we get there, but...
Listen, mate, you've got all the power you need right here.
And why do we want to go up there again?
We were supposed to look after the griffins that were behaving strangely.
Griffin's behaving badly.
And remember, we are supposed to, well, try our best not to kill them, but solve this some other way.
I mean, I don't know, is this bridge so badly broken a mend spell or something couldn't fix it?
Yes. Yes, it is. You would also have to reach all the different pieces, which are very far down some.
Oh well.
So what are you guys doing?
I mean, I've got fly as a spell.
Do you teach it to me?
She can cast it on you, Botch? Says Helira.
Okay.
It's at 5th level for you, right, Bithynia?
3rd level for me. Oh wait, because I get things at 5th level, right?
Are you using... Is it one of your warlock spells?
Yeah, Warlock's are always at 5th level, right?
Yeah. I was just
Yeah.
double checking if it wasn't, like, in the helmet or something.
And plus, if I
you're
remember right, Warlocks gain their spells back after a short rest, not a long rest. Am I right?
Yes, I just...
You get both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could really easily just Jaeger everyone across.
You took the fly spell, Bithynia?
Apparently, it's in
How long
here.
does fly last for?
It lasts. Mine lasts for 60 feet for the duration.
Is fly the one that we... Oh no, it was water breathing that you learnt.
It's concentration up to 10 minutes.
And I can fly up to...
Question.
And my flying speed is 60 feet.
Bithynia, are you looking at your one-shot stats or your...
Oh, yeah, I definitely am in the wrong one. Sorry, I definitely don't have fly. I was like, I guess I took it. I was
Because-
excited.
Let's go!
I
Jump!
need to delete that character.
I gave you a you don't have to delete it per se, just, yeah, it was just a different campaign. Yeah, because I gave you a preload of spells, and I tried to use my best judgment on what you might like, and so I gave you the fly spell as well for that.
It would work in this instance, however. It's the wrong campaign. Let's see what else I can have.
You guys get the sense
everything else that I have is pew pew.
You guys get the sense Bithynia may have been having a trip down memory lane as she, to a incident she had at school.
But what about freedom of movement? It says the target's movement is unaffected by difficult terrain.
Difficult terrain and climbing are slightly different, so...
You're telling me this is easy terrain?
No, it's...
That's the name of the episode.
Easy terrain.
You're telling me this
I
is
guess
easy
maybe...
terrain.
It's just a different kind of
imagined it-
difficult, in the same way that, well, does freedom of movement, does it say that it lets you swim underwater unimpeded? Does that specify that? Let me have a
It
look.
just says difficult terrain. It says spells and other magical effects can neither reduce the target speed nor cause the target to get paralyzed or restrained. It says the target can also spend 5 feet of movement to automatically escape from non-magical restraints such as manacles or a creature that is grappled. Finally, being underwater imposes no penalties on the target movement or attacks. So.
Oh, being underwater. I'm gonna see if there's any official rule in climbing.
Maybe they just automatically succeed on climbing checks. But just have to clamber the whole way down and clamber all the way up.
Morse, do you have any leather on you? In your
Ooh.
possessions?
Let's have a look. In me old... nope, that's magic cheese. I have magic cheese. I have... No, I don't think I've been collecting hides, to be honest. Oh, actually, you know what? It would probably destroy it, but I do have the winter clothing that I got for when we were traveling Oreskos. It probably could be destroyed for the purpose of taking like the furs and like trying to find like what do you need the leather for?
It's a component, so if we even could, we would still need a leather strap as a component because you have to tie it to yourself.
I'm gonna go with Morse's ruling, with Morse's suggestion for this one in terms of a ruling. It will not make you climb faster, but you will automatically succeed on any checks that are part of making that climb.
Okay.
Which ain't nothing.
And how many people would that affect?
It's one person.
While I'm here, I'd like to cast Gore Spike at the crab that I can see at the bottom of this.
Oh, damn it.
Constitution saving throw?
It is indeed.
Please roll a natural 20.
And then, the crab is
I'm
part
dumb.
of the map.
Hold on.
I saw it. I wanted it.
What is the distance between here and up there?
That's a 12.
What did we say?
Oh,
Yeah.
What distance, sorry, Bethania?
Yeah, what is the distance between here and there?
So it's it's 70 feet straight across, but that would take you to, so this line I'm tracing here, that's 70 feet. The section on the other side isn't on the same level. The map does a poor job of conveying it, but all in all, on a slightly angular slope, it would more be about like 100 feet, factoring in that you would have to go at a slight elevation, because the section on the other side is a little bit taller than you guys. It's 70 if you wanted to get straight to the other side, but that would be cliffside, as in cliff wall.
I'm happy to have. I'm ready with Featherfall in case we need it, but I also don't want to have to need it in case we need it when we're on the other side, when we start having fun with griffins. I can do it a few times though, so I'm ready if we need it. I have climbing gear. I can just start climbing. It will be a bit of a long journey. But I have climbing gear, and that's at least a few people less to worry about.
Yeah, same for me.
Is everyone? The other thing could happen is I don't know. I can't even leave the climb. Oh, what about we have the rope? What if we set one set of climbing gear to go down this slope, and then we use the other set to go up the other end? We'd probably have to leave the one on this side so everyone could get down, but then the one on the other side we might be okay. I got 14 points of necrotic damage on that crab, by the way.
You're like half goat, bottom half goat. Shouldn't you by default have like an advantage of going up steep terrain?
Do you crave that mineral?
Now, I don't know about that, but I can say that I have woken up hungover and I have been on cliffs, and I don't know how I've got there. But I've also not known how to get back down, so maybe there's some truth in that. I don't know. I certainly don't. I certainly can't remember how I've ended up each time, so I can't really give any tips on that. All right, I will start using the climbing gear to rappel down. Xanthia, do you have any more pittons?
Only the ones
think
in my climbing gear, but yeah,
Botch,
I
maybe you can
think-
lower him?
yeah, sure. Do you need like a strength check or something?
my climbing gear is without the pittons. I think I can't remember what I used them for, but we definitely used them for something in the past. I've got enough to set up against this, and I'm just going to check the stability of the remaining pole that was on the what do you call it, where the bridge started. You know, the two points.
give it
And I
like
just kind of check it for stability.
Wait,
Cool.
pretty firmly planted in there.
I will round it up, set it up, and then I'll give a little bit of slack to hand to Buckios, just as kind of extra if something does go wrong. I think I should be okay.
You can count on me.
How much rope do you have,
let's
by
see.
the way?
This is 50 feet. Buckios, do you have any more?
Oh,
I also have
yeah.
50 feet.
I have another blank of rope.
Okay.
And Amalia
um,
also has another 50 feet.
Okay.
So we have like 200 feet.
Cool. All right. I need 2 to go down, and then we'll probably need the 2 to go up. Okay. And I'll start climbing down using the 2 pieces of rope, mine and Buckios's. I will start going down.
Okay, I'm gonna ask for a single a single acrobatics check. So rappelling down is a lot more straightforward than climbing up. So a single acrobatics check. The DC will be relatively low because you're being aided by Botch.
Is 10 enough? That's the question.
I will say that at one point you do misjudge one of the footings and you scrape your knee, take 1 point of damage.
Okie dokie.
But it is enough, and you are lowered you had just enough. The cliff is 200 feet tall on where you guys are.
Oh, so I needed all 4 pieces of rope to get down to this point.
Correct.
Right. I get to the bottom and go, what the downside is, I can't, we haven't got it for the top.
Make a constitution check. Not a saving throw, just a check.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I've only got 7 though.
You guys hear? You can't make out what was said.
I think he's doing all right.
I think he's doing tip-top, yeah. He looks really animated down there.
Yeah.
Yelena pulls out a wire and says, "Did you say that again, Scotty? We didn't hear it from all the way up here with all this wind."
I said, right, I'm here to the bottom, but we'll need more
I
rope.
can hear you. You don't need to shout. I'm using a spell.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I used all the rope. It was 200 feet. So we need more to get up the other side. Or when we come down, we need to find a way to unhook the rope we got.
Guys, the cliff is like 200 feet, so you had to use all of it, as you can see.
I mean, maybe we can just climb all down and then you can fly after us with Plummet and just collect all of the rope. What?
Potentially.
Why don't I
What
go
idea?
with Bithynia on Plummet, so if anything happens, I can cast Fly on us?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
For me. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
Then we get all on Plummet.
I will ask everybody... What order is everybody rappelling down in?
Oh, I'm going first.
Okay.
I'm going after Bacchios.
Cool. The last person, because they do not have someone spotting them, will have a different DC. Just FYI. So, Bacchios, dexterity... acrobatics check?
Oh, no. Oh, isn't athletics the one thing I'm not good at? Oh, that's a dirty 20.
More than fine. It's, you do sort of lean into the athletics part for it. You actually... So you do it in about half the amount of rappels that Scotty does because your legs are strong enough to just bring yourself to a screeching halt on the rock face and then push off at a greater degree. So you, go further and further backwards easy enough and you boom, land on the ground, no problem.
Because she's being very quiet, and that's my fault, Amalia can go last.
Okay. It's not your fault. I picked one person to be RPing on, and I picked Heliada for some reason, so that's on me. Xanthia, next, acrobatics check, please.
I'm not good at acrobatics. That's a 0.
You get a 0! How?
I rolled a nat 1 and I have a -1.
You have -1 to your dexterity?
Yes!
She has a
I know!
very
I know! I'm gonna die.
Oh, zeros! Those are rare. You don't see those often.
Hey, I guess.
A glass cannon
You
paladin.
arrived in time to see Xanthia fall to her death, so you've not
Whoa.
missed much.
I'd like to reach. I'd like to reach out and just grab her with one hand.
Now,
you.
Xanthia, so you're at the bottom, Botch.
Yeah, exactly. And
Xanthia,
she's
I
just
presume-
started.
I presume you've tied the rope to yourself instead of simply holding on to it. Be honest.
Your silence speaks volumes.
Yeah, your stunned
Is that
silence
me?
is very reassuring, I think the quote is.
Are you talking to me?
No, it is Xanthia. Did you tie the
I
rope
was
to
like,
yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
You tied the rope to yourself?
Mhm.
Okay.
Cool.
Roll for deception.
No, it's fine. Amalia is spotting, so she does catch you quite quickly. However, you do misjudge it, and you're... Look, you go to, like, latch on again after a rappel, and the rock that you were going to perch on gives out from under you, and you fall about 40 feet before Amalia catches you. However, you basically fall like ass over tea kettle, hitting your head and limbs multiple times against the cliff face. So I'm going to say you only take 40 feet worth of fall damage instead of...
Cool.
So it's a,
How far away is she at that point? And how does it look to, not Zapcast, to Skatinos?
Really pathetic, I would guess.
She would be about
It looks
70
like someone-
feet off the ground at this point, finishing at 30 feet before Amalia reacts in time to
Cool.
catch it.
I don't think I would have realised that Amalia get to catch it, so I will probably say I also cast Featherfall, because I don't know I can't tell from the distance that Amalia is going to catch her. So if I kind of see her kind of tumbling, I'd probably cast Featherfall, thinking that we need it.
Like I said, it's 40 feet of damage, but it is going to be a D8 instead of a D6 because you are falling against the cliff face. Allie's gonna love this reference. You're basically Homer when he misses the gorge on the skateboard in that Simpsons episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Plop, 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 plop.
But still, keep going. Oh.
Okay, I actually rolled really shit, so that's 2 1s, a 3, and a 7, so you take 12 points of bludgeon damage.
Ow!
Romeo, do you want me to mark off a Featherfall?
I'll leave it up to you if you believe that...
I probably would have, yeah, because
Okay,
I
then,
would have
yeah.
thought that there's something had gone wrong.
Mark off a Featherfall then. Yeah, so you might have... Yeah, you instinctually would have done so, but you are able to get down the rest of the way, Xanthia, without further issue.
Okay, I get down. I'm like, this did not go the way I planned.
Oh yeah, you got a big gash on your forehead now, and it is bleeding quite freely.
You look good. You look like you've been in a really good fight.
Thank you.
That ugly gash on your forehead really accentuates the blue of your skin. It looks great.
You did it though. High five.
Okay.
I offer you a high five.
Right.
I completely miss it.
I'm only doing this because I don't feel comfortable with something so dangerous when the player is not here. So this is not an ability she has. But for flavor, what I'll say is, Amalia, you watch as you ready the rope to Hilira, and she just smiles at you, gives you a wink, runs to the edge of the cliff face, does a jump. She doesn't like leap for air. She sort of jumps, only gaining like an inch, like going an inch forward from the cliff face. But she goes into a backflip, and as she begins to fall, her feet, sort of almost like she's taking steps on flat ground, she starts running down the side of the cliff.
Okay.
And she just, you guys watch as she straight up gets into a dead sprint, like going straight for the ground. But she, like, if you turn your head, she looks like she would be in a 100-yard dash.
As she comes down, I go, try running up the other side. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Momentum.
Make a perception check.
That is a 10.
You feel like she might be flipping you off, but it's a little hard to tell at this distance. However, she does run down the side of the cliff face and then do a full-on, like, Roadrunner screech on the sand. Like, leaves, like, a skid mark in the sand. Just like a... No, wait, not skid mark.
Oh, that's cool.
What is it called when a car does it?
Yeah, skid mark is right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been repurposed. Don't worry.
Oh,
You're
other
using
things.
the right phrase.
Hey. Okay, I'll rephrase. She leaves, like, Back to the Future burns in the sand.
What is this? What's that spinning piece of metal plate on the ground? I've seen this before.
Oh, that's just my helmet. And she goes and picks it up.
Out of time.
Cool. Amalia, I need you to
Yeah?
make an acrobatics check.
Okie dokie.
The DC, again, is different because you do not have someone spotting you. That a 3?
On the upside, it's 3 higher than Xanthia got. So, you know, that's still... This could be 3 worse.
Now,
I wrote a sandwich.
babe, I need to ask you a question, and I need you to be honest.
Okay.
Did Amalia tie herself to the rope, to herself, like around her waist or something, or was she just holding onto the rope itself?
I'm guessing she would have tied it to herself. She might be a little bit slow, but she's not that slow.
Okay, just making sure. Okay, again, you don't have someone to catch you this time, so roll a dexterity saving throw.
Like,
Oh wait, no, you can't.
saving.
You can't tie it to yourself. You can't tie it to yourself and rappel down in this case. Because
Okay, so
the reason the others could have tied it to themselves is because they had someone else lowering them, one of the strong people. There's no strong people left, so you didn't have anyone lowering you down. You had, or was in someone spotting you.
basically I fell off the cliff.
Yeah. I'll say
So
this.
I'm kind of like, I'm in the process of like, I was going through and going, it's alright, you know.
Roll a
Anyone could
dexterity
have done it,
saving
then,
throw.
yeah.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
While that's happening, I, so you know, Xanthia, I have used a Farrakhan's balm to heal you after
Is
you
that a
missed the
4?
high 5. Yeah.
Okay, how much would I have healed them?
You heal 11.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Amalia.
You remember the other day when we were talking and I was like, I feel like Amalia's gonna die soon?
Okay. Yes, I remember. So. About halfway down. You go for a rappel, and with those rolls,
Face first into a cliff.
your lion's paw slips off a rock that you did not realize had algae on it, and you basically hit your head into the cliff face, and the momentary blinding pain makes you let go. And you try to reach out and grab the rope, but you're falling at an angle and it is out of your reach. And you are free falling.
So how I'm imagining it's going down at the ground is I've kind of gone to Xanthia and gone, it's alright, I've just finished doing the Hanukkah's bomb. I go, it's alright, it's going to happen to one of us. As long as we've got something, we get up. Oh my god!
Scotty, she's 100 feet, so she's gonna fall off the ground, so she's gonna fall quick. I need you to... I'm gonna say roll an initiative roll for this.
Okay. Alright.
So it was a 3, right? That you rolled on the initial thing, right, Amalia?
Initially, yeah.
Okay, 20 minus 3. The DC you need to beat is 17.
Okay. I've got a 13. However, I would like to expend 2... I mean, I don't know if this works for a reaction. Can I use sorcery points to quicken my spell casting?
Not on a reaction.
Malia dies today.
I think that's all I got.
I don't want to be brutal, but those were really low rolls, and this is a very high cliff.
Okay.
I have
Would
really
I
high.
would I have still used the Featherfall spell, or does the spell get off at all, or reduce it at all, or is it I haven't got the chance to cast it?
I will give you the chance to... Okay, I'll give you you have the chance to cast it. So, Amalia, your Constitution saving throw will be made at advantage.
I'm gonna do it because...
Actually, okay, Amalia, strength saving throw at advantage. If he casts
okay, that's
Featherfall.
good. Advantage. Roll. 28.
The following
Very
damage...
good save.
The following damage will be halved.
Because I rolled a natural 20 plus 8 is 8.
Oh, sorry. Hi.
That is a great.
So what would have
I heard
been
that. That was a
41
lot of-
So what would have been 41 points of bludgeoning damage becomes 20.
Hey, that's fine.
As you basically plant your feet into the rock and like get into a crouch and you slam your armored claw into the ground, and you guys see the rock. But you also, Amalia, you feel some green stick fractures in more than one bone.
I thought cats were supposed to land on their
Or am I
feet.
sitting on the floor?
Bithynia, she did land on her feet. She just, the feet couldn't take that amount of impact. Sorry, what, Amalia?
So am I like lying on the floor, like fours, or like?
No, you're
Like
fine.
cat,
It was a superhero landing, but like with realistic physics.
So like a kitty cat.
Yeah, like a kitty cat, but bones have a finite amount of tensile strength. LOLE just commented, I was making dinner, I had to stop and come look at my phone to see this happen myself.
Nice. I think bones have a limited amount of tensile strength. Again, it's a really good title for an episode.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay.
I think I broke something.
Oh wait,
And that's
Hilera
your
was gonna
one.
go with you. Sorry. So retconning that little awesome Roadrunner moment, she is actually at, that's my bad. I forgot about that. She is still at the top of the cliff. All right, Bithynia, you ready?
Yep. Maybe. I don't know. What am I rolling for this?
So Hilera untangles the rope and quickly winds it up, and you guys get on top of Plummet and you can begin your descent down. Make an athletics check using Plummet's Pegasus stat block at advantage, because you're not trying to perch on a specific rock or do anything other than get to those guys, so you can quite comfortably... Actually, don't even roll. You can... Getting down is different, especially in this particular case. What you simply do is...
Are you trying to get down, or are you trying to get across?
I thought she was bringing the rope
I
down to you
wanted
guys.
to get.
Sorry.
Well, I hadn't spoke for my turn yet, but
Sorry.
I wanted to get down there and then use a spell to get up the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Cool. So, yeah, it's easy enough to do. Basically, rather than chance something close to the cliff face, you basically kick off and let the wind carry you maybe 500 feet out to sea, where it drops a bit. And then you just, where the wind is calm, descend to, like, basically sea level, and then fly the rest of the way back. Plummet hooves, like, casually, like, at a couple points he lowers them, and then they leave neat little trails in the water, like, whoosh, kicking up the water as it goes along. But it's sort of like that moment in Harry Potter where Buckbeak is, like, an inch off the water across the lake. In the third one. And then you... and then just set down by the sand.
Okay, so I made it. Good.
Oof.
How are y'all doing?
My head still hurts.
Do we have a cleric around here?
I can heal people if need. There's an. I'll leave that up to Scotty because he's making the mechanics decisions.
Yeah, Amalia might need her foot's turned a weird direction.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't normal for a kitty, by the way. It should be this way, not this way.
As she's doing this, by the way, you hear a really awful.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, I'm on it. And I will lay on hands for 15 points.
Okay, I don't know why that rolled a second time. Don't freak out. So you're gonna use the healing magic, Xanthia?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright. There's a... Like, I don't know if you've ever heard the sound of a stick snapping played in reverse, but that's kind of like the sound that plays, that you guys hear now is... clicks back into place.
I think it should be
Feel
better
like-
now.
Question, have you guys seen Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secret?
Yes, the worst one, correct?
You know when Lockhart goes to heal Harry?
No
Yes,
bones
when,
left.
Oh!
and Harry gets to go, when Lockhart goes to heal Harry, instead of going the wrong way, I feel like this goes the right way.
Yeah, okay, so, for context. Yeah, so, yeah, your arm is kind of... The bones were
Thank
so...
you, I love you!
Amalia, the bones were so powderized by the impact that it kind of does like Harry's arm after Lockhart has tried to fix it anyway. Like, it's... Like, you brought a new definition to bone broth, but the healing does fix it.
Yeah. If it still hurts or you need more healing, please just let me know, okay?
I thought this was going to be the easy method. Sorry.
The DC
We're still
was
going to get up, by
I
the way.
thought so too.
the
This one's higher.
DC was 10 for this. It was the easy mode.
Why was it acrobatics?
Because
Anybody in our party have high dexterity?
Hilira.
I'm alright, I'm +3.
Minus
That makes
1.
sense.
Not terrible.
And it was acrobatics
I'm-
because this is a case of trying to find the right footings and nimbly rappel down. Going up is
I'll stay
athletics.
down. Scotinus will offer to stay down, and not that I think I'll need to use Featherfall a third time, but I'm just going to stay down here, just in case, and then I'll go up last.
Cool. As you guys march over to the beginnings of the karst, so you guys, I'll say you get about... Oh, that's the wrong selection thing. I'm going to move you guys. So you guys are about... Okay, I don't know why that's not letting me move you guys. Huh, weird. Can you guys move your tokens?
Yep, I just did.
Just did.
I think something's wrong with my foundry. I'm gonna have to close it and reopen it. Sorry about that.
Nope. Server gone.
I have had it open since this morning, to be fair. I didn't think that would be an issue. Oh. Ah, yes, I can move you guys now. Cool, so yeah, you guys are about, here. And yeah, so I'll say, yeah, but you've climbed to about there, just for reference. Okay.
This game paused for me, by the way.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, okay.
So, I haven't shrunk you, Botch, that's just... I haven't shrunk you, Botch, that's just a visual indicator of, like, how tall the cliff is. Okay.
Where am I? Oh, wow.
Okay. I'm gonna...
Oh.
I'll leave
Oh.
that. Yeah, so you guys have seen that now. So yeah, like, you guys are teeny tiny, like, as in, this is a tall cliff. As you guys prepare to climb up, I'm going to ask for a 5-minute break, because I actually really need to, use the bathroom. So,
Alright.
we'll just reconvene in about 5 minutes or so, if that's okay. I'm going to switch
for me.
to...
See you in 5.
See y'all in 5. Switching to the Be Right
Time
Back
for
screen.
tea.
Thank you
Alright.
very much, the audience.
Oh yeah, tea time.
And we are back. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for that. I just, required a moment's Harry's respite. And, take a moment to refresh, get some wine. Excelente. Cool, so yes, as we were. So, you guys are at the base of this cliff, basically just staring up at about 300 feet of vertical rock. What are you guys doing?
I think I should probably stay at the bottom just in case. I'm sure it'll be fine.
How far up does fly reach, by the way?
It lasts 10 minutes, and I think it's just... is.
I'm sorry, Scotty, what were you saying?
Well, I was just going to say I'll stay here first, wait until everyone else is up, and then I'll get up. Just so I'm ready. I didn't have enough time to catch Amalia particularly well that time. So I want to kind of be focused on it. Sorry, Amalia.
That might be a good idea, yeah.
Who's going to go first then?
So you guys are casting Fly to do this?
I don't know, are we?
I can take 3 people. Bithynia, are you going to use Plummet?
Correct.
Okay, so that's
That would
Bithynia,
be
2
5
including
people.
Bithynia. Maybe the strong people... Maybe I take the... Why don't I take me, Xanthia, and Botch?
Hell yeah, let's go. I wanna fly.
Of course.
Amalia, you can go with Bithynia? Quick question.
And how's Scotty gonna get up?
I'll climb. I'll be goat, right?
Or should maybe Bithynia just return and pick you up?
Unless
So-
she climbs on my back, I help Scotty as well.
I don't mind. It's up to you. I can catch myself from falling a lot easier than I can catch anyone else because I'll know when it happens straight away. Because I'll be there in the flesh, as it were. It should be fine. You do that, and I'll climb. It
Okay.
should be fine.
Quick question. What is, we may have gone over this once before previously, but what is Plummet's carrying capacity? What is the Pegasus' strength score?
The Pegasus strength score is 18 plus 4. We
So
roughly said
so strength score
like
is...
2 people, basically.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if a bench lion in full plate armor... Amalia, okay, so... It's... 260 pounds if it were a medium humanoid. Now, Plummet is large, so that counts as double. So that's 540 pounds if we're going straight rules as... Wasn't it if we're going straight to thing. Molly, how much do you weigh? Bithynia's 80 pounds soaking wet, and there's no way you're more than 300 pounds, so I'm allowing it. It's fine. Just wanted to double check that.
Are you Jaegering Hilira?
Just roleplay wise.
Okay. One thing Hilira will do. I'm using another character to aid my own character. It feels really weird, but she's going to. Do you know what I mean? It's like I definitely. This seems like I'm taking advantage. She will touch my shoulder, and she's going to give me a mote of velocity. Yeah. To give me the extra D8 for a dexterity check.
I'll say for clarification as well, you're at the ready this time, as in quite attentively, so there, you will not be required to... Again, I don't know why I keep casting that, I'm so sorry. I'm going to...
Like, all the damage.
I literally don't press anything. But anyway, you will not be required to roll to get Featherfall off in time.
Cool.
You're looking for it this time. But okay, so... We'll start with the fly spell flyers first. Scotty, did you mark off that 3rd level spell slot? Oh wait, you can't. Okay, I'll do that for you.
I can't, no. Sorry.
That's fine, I'll do that for you. So Scotty, you...
I've made a note of that and the motor velocity.
It's okay, I've got the page open here, so I'll mark it off as well. Features and traits. Motor velocity, here we go. Use. We'll start with the fly spell flyers first. I'm going to ask for a... So, the DC is lower because you are flying, and it will not nearly take the 6 hours that it would take to climb this via traditional methods. But it is going to be a strength check as opposed to an athletics check, because it's literally force of will, for lack of a better term. You're straining with this new flight power that you have against the wind. So a straight strength check from Xanthia and Botch. I will do one for Hilira.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I do love a straight check.
23.
Okay.
How do I go from a 0 to a 23? That's...
18.
Both succeed. Hilira rolled a 7. And she doesn't have a strength modifier. So, you guys manage to fly up, but you turn and look and you see that Hilira is about 100 feet away from the cliff, just in the air. Almost like, have you ever seen those seagulls or gannets that are like mid-air just hovering because they're flying but they're against the wind, and so it's kind of like brought them to a standstill? So she's kind of hovering almost because she's flying against the wind, but it's... she can't quite get closer.
Can I fly down to,
So
I don't know,
she's level
grab
with
her
you
and
guys,
help her?
but she's been... So she's level with you guys, but she's just off a ways a bit. I'm going to roll another strength check for her. She'll succeed either way, but this is for a point of exhaustion in trying to land on the cliff face. Or, Scotty, do you want to roll it? You have to call.
Well, I was going to say, how far away is she from the cliff face?
About
Like,
100
from
feet.
a safe path? 100 feet.
The wind carried her quite far.
Yeah, that's not going to work for what I'm after then. I can do the roll. I can do the D20 roll.
Cool.
So it's... $16 plus strength roll, yeah?
0.
16 total.
Succeeds. Again, the DC was low. She does not suffer a point of exhaustion and strains as hard as she can. It takes her about 20 minutes, but she is able to safely land. Bithynia, I will ask for an athletics check for Plummet with a separate DC.
Okay.
There we go.
Do I get to add their +4 strength to my roll?
Yes. If they're proficient in
Okay, so they got a
athletics.
total of...
If they're proficient in athletics, they also get to add their proficiency bonus, but I don't know if the Pegasus is.
No, not as it's only perception they've got a proficiency in.
Okay, in that case, just the +4.
Okay, I got a 10. Alright.
Again, the wind picks you up and carries you off. Plummet's a different beast altogether, so it's only about 50 feet. So please make another strength check with advantage this time, because as opposed to just a spell that creates hovering, Plummet has a degree of aerodynamicity that makes this easier. Success. No.
I just rolled 2 15s in a row.
Appropriate. Yep. Plummet, again, has to beat his wing saw a little bit and really strain against it, but he is ultimately able to be successful, and he touches down, so you guys are now on the karst.
We did it!
And the wind's really starting to pick up here. It's... If you've ever been, like, at a coastal cliff, it's that kind of, like, battering wind. But you guys are on the karst, and you're on the first level of it. It's going to be about 100 further feet to get to the top section of it, which you can try to fly up, or you can try to climb by conventional means. Up to you.
Were we able to bring any of that rope with us?
Yeah, Hilliard has it.
Do you want me to fly the rope up to the top so that you can get up there? Rappel easier?
Yeah. But I think you shouldn't go alone, probably.
Illyria will offer to go up and will say, if you get close and start to fall, I might be able to catch you and bring you over if you're close enough.
Okay, is anyone going to go up with me?
Illyria will.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to grab the rope and we're going to go up. Hopefully we don't have Warlock and Pegasus for dinner.
Yeah, I believe that goes best with a Dom Perignon 75.
Ooh, she sounds delicious.
You've said that about everyone you've come across. That was...
Listen, I do know one thing, is that anything can be delicious if you add enough seasoning.
I think, Scottinas, if you guys have already got to
It's the most English thing you've ever said. I don't know why.
if you've got
Unfortunately,
the
I
first,
only come with
the
salt.
first reach
My
point,
apologies.
Scottinas will also need to climb to the same level so that he can feather fall, so you don't fall onto the fall back onto the first level, because otherwise he'd be too far to cast featherfall. I think, if my math is right, is the first level was more than 60 feet, wasn't it?
For which one?
So when
300?
oh
I
yeah,
think.
then yeah, Scotty would need to get to where you are, because otherwise, if you fell from the top one onto that thing that's 300 feet in the air, you'd be too far for him to cast Featherfall, so he has to catch up with you now. But since you're all up, he'll now try and get to where you guys are, and then be ready to Featherfall with him.
Need to be quick. Alright.
I will start climbing.
Okay, Scotty, make an athletics check.
Okay.
Are you just climbing the norm by normal means?
Using the climbing gear, but no rope, so just the standard pit and step. 13.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think I can use the motor velocity because that's for a dex check.
Correct, this is a strength check.
Cool.
So
yeah, 13 total.
okay. That does not succeed. Now, the thing I had set up was a group check as opposed to an individual check, so it would be unfair to give you the result of the group failure.
It's fine.
Yeah?
He's a big goat. Yeah, it's fine. He's on his own. It's entirely fair.
Okay. You climb up. You get about 50 feet up before your arms just get tired and just like your arms go numb from trying to hold on, but literally involuntarily you let go and you fall 50 feet.
Okay. 50 feet is fine. I will take the 50 feet of fall.
Okay, you take 10, 14, 16. I rolled really good on this. 22 points of bludgeon damage as you...
Cool. That's fine. I will.
Thank your lucky stars that you're flexible, because like a rock goes like you land with like with your back against a round rock, and a human might not have bent that way.
How much was it? I'm going to use the
22.
resilience to 22.
22.
I knock it down by 6, so that goes down to 16 points, I think. For damage? Yeah, 16. I swear, curse. I'm gonna try again.
Okay. Make another athletics check.
Don't think I have anything to help, so... It's fine. What's the worst that could happen? He says as he rolls a... Better. 18.
Succeeds. Over the course of the next 6 hours, you, bit by bit, climb the 300 feet to this cast. To the top of this castle where the players are. The rest of your party is. And this time, it took you a minute, because before, you were kind of like you're in city boy mode a little bit, but that fall knocks something into you, and something a bit more primal awakens in you, and a little bit of muscle memory you didn't know you had kicks in, and sure enough, you do goat it.
Nice.
Cool, so it's been 6 hours. I'll say you guys could have taken a short rest if you wanted to during that time, if that is important to anybody for any reason. But you all find yourselves together at the top of this cast. And you go to the, and you're now facing... You turn and you view the just secondary elevation. That's about a further 100 feet. What are you guys doing? Iliora's like, do we want to scout it out?
Yeah, that sounds
If we can.
reasonable.
I'll catch my breath back. I'll let you go first. But I'm here and ready with the horn. But I'll let you go first.
Do we know what's up there?
Griffins? Probably.
In response to this, I would like to use one of my boons of unstable combat for magic awareness. I'd like to see if I can sense any magical shit happening up there from a 60 feet radius.
60 feet would be beyond your range, and I'll say you know this before you... So it's about 100 feet up.
Oh, it's 100 feet up. I do apologize. Yeah, that's fair enough then. I have no idea, everyone.
Bithynia, can couplets see up there, maybe?
I think maybe if I check it out, because they have perception. Is that what you said?
Also, as a
Passive
familiar, you
perception.
can look through couplets' eyes at will.
Yeah, passive perception 16.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, you can also look through her eyes at will, because she is a familiar.
She's got cool sight as well, so if there's anything hiding, I
Yeah.
guess.
yep. So what would you like me to roll? Anything to see?
That's easy enough. So you, yeah, I'll say roll a perception check as you guys watch as Bithynia just sits down so she's comfortable, and then her eyes roll back, and then you see Couplet just sit up at alert, and you intelligence. Then, the four wings beating in unison. I'll say Couplet does have to do like a bit of a wide berth just to avoid having to roll for the wind. So the DC has been adjusted for the perception check, but go ahead and roll.
Well, with just mine alone, I got a 22, and then their passive perception is 16.
Easy enough. So, with your perception through her
plus
eyes,
6, so it'd be 25. 25 total.
Yeah. You spot a mass of twigs and branches, and you swear there's like a section of cart. You see like a wheel at one point, maybe what was once a piece of chariot. Just debris of flotsam and wood and fallen branches that have been amalgamated together into the largest nest you've ever seen. It's easily 20 feet across at all points. And on and around it, you count 12 griffins. With a 22 minimum, I forgot what the high rolls where I was, but I'll say that you spot a single one of them to the far, as in, okay, it'd be closest to you guys from north, kind of thing, as in, a single one of them off to like the down right section. There we go. Does seem to be awake, like in a position of rest, but keeping a watch.
So I can come back down without any issue, right?
Yeah. You're giving them a wide berth, so then the griffins aren't paying too much attention to you. It was through your piercing gaze that you were able to make out the detail that you did.
Gotcha. So, did I go up there with rope to like help fasten it for them?
You're not up to the top yet. You simply sent a couplet like a drone, basically, to scope out what's above there.
Yeah, their thumb options are limited for fastening and securing ropes, so I guess they're coming back down. I'm ready.
However, it would be so adorable to watch. You could start
just like trying to fasten it with nubs.
Yeah. I'll let you
try
it.
I've got good news and bad news. There is a ginormous nest up there, and if I'm correct, there's probably like a dozen of these things up there.
That's fine. Two. We can each handle two, right?
And
as a reminder, it would be best not to kill them.
Yeah, but it would also be fun to kill them.
well, you guys were able to handle
Really
and ride
shouldn't.
on manticores, correct? I mean, couldn't you handle griffins?
I mean, easily, yeah. I wreck Griffin. I wreck manticores. I've killed a chimera single-handedly. I could easily kill a griffin.
Yeah. So if you all could have kept those manticore alive for as long as were they manticore? They're manticore, right? You all
They
were
were
manticores.
Yeah.
So if you could handle those, you could totally handle griffins. I have faith.
But also, we
not
don't know what
evil
causes them
by-
to act strangely.
I mean, what is strange for a griffin, though? It's a wild beast.
They're living on top of a windy ass crag. Like that's their problem.
From what was explained to you,
terrible.
Botch versus... Oh, sorry, cut you off. Go ahead, Rebecca.
It is a poor choice. It's a poor housing market for Gryffindors or Griffins. Sorry.
Gryffindors.
That's a Freudian slip. Based on what was explained to you about their behavior, Botch, and your own experience, you get the sense it's a case of, you know, wild beast's a wild beast, but, you know, in the same way a chimera or something in the mountains wouldn't be bold enough to, like, attack a settlement directly. You get what was described to you was uncharacteristically brazen attacks. Even a wild animal knows to keep away from the people with the with the pointy sticks, kind of thing.
Okay. Okay. Hilira, did we... Oh, sorry, Bithynia, sorry. Were you able to determine just how old these griffins were?
I'm not sure, but they have a nest, so one big nest. So I don't. Would that mean that they're babies?
Roll a nature check, Bithynia.
$28.
Oh. I feel like with a roll of 28, you can basically become Dr. Doolittle and speak their language.
I have Isn't that one of my spells? Damn it.
Speak with animals, yeah.
No, I thought
I think they're
had, like,
monstrosities, though.
You could take that as an indication.
Hilira thinks going. Yeah, Hilira was going to suggest the same thing, but I don't think Griffins count as animals.
With a 28, they definitely. Bithynia would definitely know that they're a monstrosity. Yeah, so just formulating the response in my head. There's no other way to say it. Bithynia, you aced classes for breakfast back in your days of academia. You you're the kind of person who learns languages for fun, or will when it's your turn to pick the movie, you pick a documentary. That is Bithynia. So you just recall a not textbook. You recall a journal on wild avians that you were reading for fun not too long ago. And based on the illustrations there and what you saw, as well as various descriptions of the presence of down versus the coloration of tails and things like that, these all appear to be adults.
Oh.
Some of them may have looked older than others, but not abnormally so. In the same way that, like, a pride of lions might have a range in ages, because a couple of them seemed longer in the claw, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Yes.
They're adults, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're old.
Do you
know?
know
Left home, I guess.
when the Griffin mating season is? Because I don't know about you, right? But when it's my mating season, I got really uppity and I was really horny all the time. So that was probably why they're being a bit uppity now. Maybe if they all just got laid.
To that effect, retconning slightly.
Are you volunteering yourself?
No.
Well.
I look over towards Scotty.
That's the correct answer.
Where was that? Was that cloth that's
Clothis.
in my head?
Yeah.
No. I just look over towards Scotty and just being like.
I mean, I do like a bird, but that I think we're I think there's a language miscommunication there.
Okay, not retconning slightly, but rewinding slightly with with a perception check you made initially, you did see that within the nest was you spotted some slightly purplish, round porcelain-looking things.
So it is possible. Okay, so Bakos, what you have to say may be the first time that I have heard and can see the logic and or merit. And while it may not be mating season currently, it may have been in the past, and there may be babies or baby griffins in the future, and that may be why they are protective and or angsty.
I knew it. I'm a genius.
Is that normal behaviour for griffins? I mean, I suppose the parents might, but are they all like? Is that how they function? I don't know much about griffins. I'll be honest. So.
Well, fortunately for you.
Does the behaviour make sense now we know there's young?
Separate nature check, Bithynia, if you would like to determine that information.
Let me consult my patron wiki. Hold on.
Hang on. As you say,
23
patron
total.
wiki.
I don't know whether to be offended or to take the compliment for that one, to be honest.
Now you sound like Bacchios. Thank you.
Oh, hell yeah.
What did you roll, sorry, on the nature check?
23 total.
Okay. I mean, they can become more irascible during the actual mating portion of the season, but once young are laid, they tend to actually become super defensive. Nest is obviously the most vulnerable point, so they, during off-season, they'll all go out hunting together, but during mating seasons, and during times of laying, they'll have at least 2 griffins guarding the nest at all times, even when the rest go out hunting.
So at the moment, there's only 2 there.
No, sorry.
Currently,
There's
only
12
2.
there at the moment.
All but 2? Wait.
So, to clarify, I apologize if I wasn't super clear. I said it badly. Their typical habits when there are eggs involved are towards more the defensive, indicating that what you're experiencing at the moment is abnormal. During normal times, they will all go out hunting together as a singular pride. However, when there are eggs in the nest, they will leave 2 behind when they go out on a hunt. At least 2 behind.
Okay. So here's the situation, y'all. So they may all be up there right now, but there will be a time that there will only be 2 up there at once, which may be an opportune time to climb up there when they leave.
With those rolls, I will say as part of that, you recall that they are nocturnal hunters.
And what time of day is it right now?
6 hours, you guys traveled here. You guys traveled here straight from the city, right? And it was
Yeah.
like first thing in the morning.
Didn't we set up like a tiny hut or something near the cliffs? Because we left quite late in the day.
Yes, so you got to the cliffs by nightfall, so you set up a tiny hut and started off the next day. So between climbing down, which I'll say took about an hour, and the 6 hours Scotty needed to climb up here, it's
Sorry about
about 2 p.m. It's like 2 in the afternoon kind of thing. I'm just reminded of that like story that Sean Bean talks about when filming The Lord of the Rings, where he didn't want to fly in a helicopter, so he just climbed the mountain and...
Given Sean Bean's track record on screen, that probably wasn't the best idea.
Well, I wonder if all his deaths on screen give him immortality in real life.
Oh my god, worth it.
This feels like a modern adaptation of Dorian Gray that I would totally write a script for. As long as I die in a movie at least once a year, I never age. Side tangent, I apologize. Continue.
I think that we should wait for nightfall to go up there.
Agreed.
Yeah. But maybe we could at least get the ropes done during the day so that we have more vision, and then not make too much ruckus.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Let's do it.
Botch, why don't you
We
just
barely
climb
were
up
able
and...
to-
Heliana says, Botch, why don't you climb up and secure the rope of your own accord? You'll definitely make it. So if we're just securing the rope...
Yeah,
Doesn't need
alright.
anybody else.
Let's go. Let's do it.
I've got you if you need. I'm kind of lying on my back, still a bit knackered, and I've just got the horn in hand.
Yeah, Botch, this is... You're right at home, so athletics check, but it'll be difficult for you to fail this.
Oh,
I'm sorry
hell
that I
yes.
said it that way. I feel like I'm just jinxed.
That would be, sir, a 28. I rolled a natural 19. Plus 9.
You basically, just to show off, find a fallen oaken branch and salmon ladder like 100, just like... yeah.
I'm just hanging off one-handed.
You're doing one-handed pull-ups in between, like, fixtures of the rope.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, like, no problem. You find a... Roll a separate survival check as well in order to position the rope somewhere where it's unlikely to be found or wouldn't look out of place.
That'd be a 19.
Easy enough.
Roll a
So
10, another plus 9.
you actually so you tie it round a jutting. It doesn't feel right to call it a stalagmite, but like a jutting shard of the cliff.
Outcrop of rock.
An outcrop of rock that's quite robust. As in, you give it a good tug, and you're not like with your massive strength, it doesn't budge an inch. So you get this is quite secure. And then you actually go to another section and uproot a like sapling shrub that's been growing off the edge of the cliffside, and then just wrap it or like plop it round to sort of help conceal the knot of rope. And then you sort of tie it to the side of the cliff so it's sort of like just pressed against the side and out the way, and you're quite confident that it's hidden enough that a beast wouldn't notice it.
That, everyone, is a proper job.
While that's been going on, are there any plants that are on this little outcropping?
You looking for anything in particular?
Just a other than grass, a plant that would be suitable for the Speak with Plants spell.
Roll an investigation or survival check, your choice.
It's Hilira doing this, so she's going to do survival. Survival. Dirty 20.
So she has a look around, and she just about actually, she just spots a section of shrub, or as in a small section of greenery on the ground that's of a slightly, or as in significantly, paler green, that almost looks like frosted over. And she hops over to it, and actually, she notices that it is a small sage plant.
She will use 3 charges of her Stone Speaker Crystal to cast Speak with Plants.
Okay. The little slightly wilted sage just and almost sort of like twitches at a tent.
Hi. So I know you don't speak to people very often, so this is probably a bit of a surprise, but
Goodness! I've never had a voice before. I can't do the Queen's voice. Never mind.
Well, I hope you don't mind. We're just going to sit here for a bit. We're getting our rest breath back, and then we're going to be climbing all the way to the top. And there are griffins there. And I was wondering, do you know much about them? Have you seen them doing anything weird, or like non-griffin things? I mean, I know you're not a griffin, but if there was things like that are not griffins that you've seen there, and what can you tell while you've been sat here in this little space here?
Oh, well, I'd have to think about it for a moment.
Okay. I think for a while, so not afraid,
they generally come and go during the night, and they'll come back with fish or gazelles or goats, sorry, that inhabit the nearby cliff sides, or even sometimes cattle. And one time I saw it looked like a person.
Oh, they must be really hungry then, so they're getting lots of things.
There's not much food around this cropping.
Do you know why they might be here in the first place? I mean, there might be some eggs. I know we think there's some eggs up there, but has anything else been around, or has anyone else, or has another person, or something else happened that might make them that have made them kind of settle here? Or we're just trying to, work out why they're here, because they're after people, and normally they shouldn't do that. Not if they've got eggs there, and it's not what we think so. So something must have happened, right?
Well, they'll be here. I imagine because it's very hard to get here if you don't have wings. How did you get up here?
Wow, it was quite a long journey. So what we did is we had to climb down, and shall we use a good portion of the speak with plants spell explaining it? Not the entirety, but she'll use like half the duration for it.
On brand. On brand. Right, see, exactly my point. Do you know? Not a week ago, I felt something... Or just over a week ago, sorry. I did feel something crawl over me. It kept moving, but... This was...
Oh.
Gross and slimy, and I don't imagine that's what Feathers felt like. Rolled super high on its check.
Go plant power! That might be why they're acting so strange. Do you know if that thing is still here?
I only felt it the one time.
Could you tell if it had legs, or how many legs, or did it have a tail, or?
It brushed over me for half a second.
That's okay.
I felt at least 2 legs.
So at least 2 legs, maybe more legs, definitely not less legs. So we know that this thing has legs.
Yeah, we know that this thing has legs.
Okay. I think that's everything. Guys, does anyone want to ask the plant a question?
What's it like when a bee fertilizes you?
So, I mean, you don't have to ask if you don't. If you don't have to ask if you don't want. But my friend here is very curious, especially since you're all the way up here, and you know you've done really well to survive all the way up here. But how, when a motherly plant and a baby plant love each other very much, and you start looking into having another plant, how's it? What's it? No, it's fine. It's okay. It's been lovely talking to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. We won't be here much longer. We're just going to rest, and I think that's everything.
And a really good response prepared too. Okay.
Cool.
Scotty, you see Barkios is eagerly awaiting the answers. Like, what did you ask? Oh, sorry.
This is hilarious. She said, the plant said, I didn't ask if it was a mummy plant or a daddy plant, so I don't know why I'm saying mummy plant or daddy plant.
Both, but by the way.
Well, I don't know that, but okay. Well, I didn't ask, there's not really many bees around here, so it's hard to say. But what they did say is they did feel something, but I don't think it was related to what you were thinking. They felt something that might be to do with up there, something slimy that crawled up a week ago with at least 2 legs, but I don't know if there's any more than 2 legs. But there might have been. But there's definitely not less than 2 legs that crawled up this way, and that it was very strange, and it was like a slimy thing. So I wonder if that's what's responsible.
Any more detail than just at least 2 legs and slimy?
Well, I did try and find out. It couldn't tell me if there was more than 2 legs, but I did get at least 2.
At least 2.
But if it was like it only brushed past like very quickly, so it could have been like a bug or something. But it's hard to say. But there is definitely something else that's been up there a week ago. And when did they say that the Griffon started misbehaving?
Round about the same time.
See, yeah, it might be because of that. Whatever it is.
Based on that description, would Botch have encountered something in the wild that could cause other animals to go feral? With slimy with at least 2 legs.
Roll a nature check, but it's gonna be a tall DC.
Oh, if there was ever a time to roll a natural 20, this is it. Nature check. Oh, that's a straight intelligence roll for me. Alrighty. Oh, good. That's a 6.
You have no idea. Or yeah, you have no idea. I was gonna.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Were you
Expected
thinking?
as much.
As Buccaneer sees like smoke coming from his like ears, like. Are you thinking again?
like an AVI graphics card trying to run Crysis.
Just like.
Is AVI the one that superheats or AMI?
Is it AMI?
No.
Oh dear.
No, it's fine. I'm not.
So I'm guessing this is Scutinos. So I'm guessing if we can get up there and kill that thing, then it should all go back to normal, maybe? But we will have lots of griffins around.
Easy.
Maybe we can also look around this area and see if we can find any other clues as to what this might have been.
Well, if we
Have a
find
look.
it, I could hold it potentially. I have the ability to hold monster.
Well, if it
That
climbed up
could
up past
come in
here, maybe. Is there anything on this plateau that looks slimy? I mean,
Roll.
Any residue?
yeah.
Roll an
maybe.
investigation check.
Oh, that's gonna suck. Again, that's just a straight roll.
I-
7.
Can Scotty try as well?
Go ahead.
That helps. Better. 19.
You don't find any residue of any sort. Sorry. But you are confident that there isn't anything to that effect here.
It's been a week. I guess maybe if there was anything, it's gone. But I've got nothing. What about you, Buckius?
No, I have no fucking idea. I cannot think of anything that would be at least 2 legs, slimy, and cause other stuff to go feral.
Would
Well-
I?
Oh, I mean, I'm just thinking of the festival again. But no, nothing monstrous.
Roll a nature check, Bithynia. Again, yeah, roll a nature check.
$25?
You have a couple of theories, but you can't be certain.
Theories. That's like 50-50 if there's a couple.
Okay.
That's 2. Could go one of 2 ways.
Okay, I'll say this. You know that beasts that don't necessarily lack a meaningful amount of intelligence tend to become most erratic or unpredictable in the face of an unknown threat. Something that is both confusing and alarming.
Well, Bacchios, I don't know what this is either, so I guess we're on the same page here. But they will, whatever it is something that shouldn't be here. It is not going to be something that, I don't know if it comes from the sea or like on land and it like comes over here, but it should not be here, whatever it is. And that's why they don't like it.
So what I'm hearing is that whatever is up there, it's going to be rare, which means that we can make a really cool trophy from it.
Yeah,
might
they
be
said that they
useful.
wanted the griffins to be managed. and not harm. They didn't say anything about anything else, so that's fair game.
Exactly. As
Unless
long as
I
there's
get to
something
it
that I can
first.
kill, I'm happy.
To
we
elaborate
should make
just a
a bet
little
on
bit further,
this.
just because I want to reward that 25, you're reminded of, and this is going to be a slightly silly example, but it's the best one I can think of. You're reminded of, you know, friends of yours who might have a pet dog, and they do the whole blanket, like throw up the blanket thing and then move out of the way. And then the dog doesn't understand that they thinks they've disappeared, and then the dog gets, like, stressed out. Kind of like, that kind of erratic behavior would require something equally confusing.
Okay.
That it didn't understand.
You understand?
So, Bacchus, you want to make a bet?
Nice Morse. I'm glad that you picked up on that. I'm always ready to gamble. What have you got in mind?
I think we should gamble on who gets the final kill on this, whatever it is. Since we can't gamble the Griffon, like killing them, we should make a bet on who gets the final kill. On
Awesome.
whatever it
What
is.
are the stakes?
I don't know. I'm willing to bet anything.
What? I don't know. What have you got?
I point towards the Pegasus.
I'm not giving away. I'm not giving away Plummet, but I mean, if
I'm
you
just
wanted
saying. I'm just
full-
saying.
If you were bonded, but if you wanted Pegasus for like a month, you totally could have Pegasus for a month.
Oh my god, I'm so about this. What do you want from me?
Oh Christ.
I have a lot of gold. I have 8 drachmi.
Yeah, Helena at this point raises her hand. Bithynia, can I tell you something? I'm reminded of something my father told my mother when I wanted a dog, like a puppy. Can I tell it to you?
Yeah.
He
sure.
said, and I quote, "Don't ever give a 9-year-old anything alive, 'cause they'll just kill it."
So okay, so I have Plummet. Is there anything of value? Oh, you said that you have gold. You have.
8 drachmi. Yes, I have 8 gold.
That is more than I have.
Seriously.
You haven't got drachmi, but you do have many artifacts that were bought with said drachmi.
I am
so I think
here
it
for
balances
this
out.
reboot of Two Broke Girls.
Oh my god.
I am essentially poor. I only have housing because it's provided by the university, and I have Plummet because I spent everything I earned in like 6 months of this campaign for one thing. Because someone wouldn't give me a Pegasus from the first session. They said that.
Oh
I
no,
I have a
what
good
a
idea.
terrible person.
I have a deal for you, Bithynia. I might not have much, but what I do have is me and myself. So I will give you a no questions asked. Anything you want me to do, you can call in your chit and I will go, okay, no questions
This
asked.
is the setup for the most peculiar booty call I have ever seen.
Listen, it's a no questions asked. So if you, Bithynia, want Bokios to do something at any point in future sessions, if you win, you can call in that shit and Bokios will do it.
Here's the deal. How good are you at being a wingman?
It's my charisma score and or my persuasion. I have a +1. I'm not very charismatic.
Yeah.
I'm more of a bodyguard and a hunter than a booty call. Well, sorry, I don't know how good of a booty call I am, but I'm not that good of a wingman.
Helena whispers to
Amalia,
you,
what's
Bithynia.
going on?
Take the favor. You might be able to use it as a wingman or as something else. You have more flexibility that way.
Okay, I'll take
If
that.
you're ever
That's-
moving, he could
Okay,
carry all of your
I go-
furniture. Just saying.
Spit on my palm and hold out to shake.
okay. And then she'll just hawk a loogie. There you
Nice.
go. Seal.
A wet, moist sound as we clasp
She's just gonna
hands.
wipe it off. Like, ugh, whatever. This is what happens. So I'm lowering my standards.
All right, it's an agreement. Okay, let's see it. Let's see what happens. Wait
Now
for a
that's all
month.
done. Since none of you asked for it, if it does have any cool components, the creature or blood, it's me.
that's fine.
That'd be useful. That's all I'm interested in. If it's useful for spells. Are we wait? If we're resting, I'm going to take a short rest
Okay.
as well. Not for any help. I'm quite tired still.
Okay. Bithynia, make a straight intelligence check. Just straight intelligence check. Add your intelligence modifier.
16 total.
Cool. The DC was 15. Take a point of piety for a successful negotiation.
Okay.
Very well. You guys are all taking as sort of bedding down and waiting for.
Night.
Cool, easy enough. I presume you throw off the dome, so. Do you do anything to the dome? You can alter its coloration as part of that.
Just want to make it look like part of the
Cool.
terrain.
Cool. Best you can do is the same color as the rock, so you hope the animals aren't smart enough to. Cool. Anybody else wish to do anything? It's gonna be this time of year at least another 5 hours until the sun sets. So, does anybody wish to do anything during this time?
No.
I'll say as well, Scott-
Anybody got some playing cards or something else to kill the time?
Normally when I'm on my own in the wilderness, I just sit and stare at nothing, and that really passes the time.
Sounds fun.
It is when you're on your own, and there's nothing else to do.
Just as a reminder, Morse, with the kit that Penelope gave you, you can count all of this
Do another
downtime
thing.
towards the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, probably once I've rested up a little bit, I'll start marking into that a little bit. So you said it counts as per time, or is it as per half time?
Nope, it's per time. Before it was half time.
Cool.
She'd given you textbooks before, which counted as half time. She's now given you a magically enhanced, comprehensive guide that has like Prestinas and Minor Illusion voiceover and like. She's given you like a. What are those masterclass things that you can buy and it's like a bunch of videos?
Oh yeah, they're valid for any masterclass that you ever like. Yeah, that's fine. I can spend ages time just being like having to skip through all the stuff that's not relevant to me. How many hours would you say? So with the days and weeks of training required, how many hours of study constitutes a day? Is it 6 or 12 or anything else?
I'm permitting you to count off the hours individually.
Okay,
so if
but
you can...
is it 24? Is the 2 days worth of study 24 hours worth of study?
Oh no! You gotta sleep sometime. I'm saying 8 hours.
8 in the thing. Okay, cool. So then, if I say I took an hour to rest properly, then 5 I put towards study. Meaning that I've got 3 left of 1 day to.
So it's 5 hours till sunset, specifically. I don't know if you guys are going to leave it a little bit after sunset, or so. If you took an hour to rest, it's going to be 4 hours, not 5.
I was going to say, are we doing a long rest or a short rest?
Well, short rest is an hour. If you're resting instead of studying, it's not going to.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You have to rest as opposed to.
No, okay, fine. In that case, let's make that 4 hours worth of study, 1 hour of rest.
So yeah, 8 hours is reasonable. I mean, IRL, like, if anybody's learning any skill, even in, like, going to a university degree, they're unlikely to spend more than 8 hours a day in a class situation.
So I've marked off half a day's worth of study. Cool.
Very well. 5 hours pass. Does anyone wish to do anything else? I'll say that the sun dips below the horizon. And soon enough, the stars begin to come out.
Is anyone recovering hit dice in the short rest?
Don't need to.
And after a moment, you hear. like a whole bunch of aquiline cries in unison before the sound of about around a dozen. You don't count them individually, but many pairs of wings taking off simultaneously. And you see a dark, at this point it'd just be a dark mass, oh no, Bithynia, you clear as day see 10 or so griffins soaring off towards the mainland.
There they go, guys. Powerful.
And what I will say at this
Hopefully they don't do
point...
too much damage.
I'm going to... let me just copy you guys as you are. Sorry, 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves. Painfully aware of the awkwardness right now.
Unlike me every day at primary and secondary school. Painfully aware of the awkwardness right now.
Yeah. With the benefit of hindsight, I wish I had cared less about perceived awkwardness. Fuck those guys.
Mood.
Honestly, like... biggest self-confidence booster was when I was like, I was trying to impress those assholes. Okay, I will now... I'll say as well, just for flavor, with a quick scout of couplet, you do see that there are 2 griffins now there keeping watch, as opposed to where the rest have flown off. And activating the map. And why don't I just switch to... so the audience can see as well. Whoops, all they can see is,
Black.
not so much that, they see the login screen.
Oh, the map's called
Excellent.
Griffin Cliffs 9. They were prepared.
Yes, I was prepared. For, you guys could have done this during the day. I was prepared for both. Okay, but, so you guys are at the base of this, 100-foot cast, like, secondary cast. I presume you begin the climb?
Yep.
Okay.
My visibility is not there. I can just see me
Apologies.
with no intimidation.
Apologies.
Though, is that because of are we needing dark to put in dark vision?
I'm going to
step?
roll for Starlight.
Come on, stars.
That's a
Roll
15.
well.
So it will be dim light for the purposes of perception checks in terms of rulings. However, I will turn on unrestricted vision range. Yeah. Cool, yeah, so can I get a climbing marching order?
I'll be going first.
Okay. Are you guys
Shotty
attempting
goes
to
last.
be quiet?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Always.
So
Will we be?
athletics
Never.
check, group athletics check, and group stealth check.
Here we go.
Do you
Is it
want Scotty
athletics
to go
himself?
separately with his athletics check because he's waiting to catch people, or
I'll count it as a
Oh, this is gonna be so bad.
purposes of publicity. And yes, people in plate armor are at disadvantage.
Okay.
Helios
Okay,
is-
got a
20 FX.
Helios is in
19
half
on
plate, right?
athletics.
Healer is in half plate, I believe, so disadvantage as well. On stealth. Sorry, how much on athletics, Xanthia?
19 on athletics.
Success.
Dirty 20.
Success.
And a 17 on stealth?
With
15
disadvantage.
on
disadvantage.
stealth.
Yeah, I rolled a 19 and an 18.
So you basically glare at your armor. Because after the day you've had.
Don't you dare.
And almost like Maui's tattoos in Moana, you swear you see one of the like ornate dolphins that, or like sea creatures that's on it do like a little zip motion across its face before.
The spirit.
Okay, Botch, what was your stealth check?
15.
Also succeeds? Just succeeds.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Scotty?
sorry, I had to swap over to my phone for a moment because I'm a bit slow. So for Scotinus, he rolled. Bring him up. He rolled 18 for athletics. Rolled a nat 20 plus 5 for stealth. And I'm just going to get the rolls for Hilira now.
Both
Is she at
successful.
disadvantage for? Is it disadvantage for stealth
half
or
plate does
disadvantage?
do
for
disadvantage for stealth.
but not athletics, just stealth.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Amalia,
Let me get.
Violet's looking slightly nervous. What did you roll?
Okay, so for stealth, I actually rolled well. I rolled an 18.
At disadvantage?
Yes, I rolled 2 12s.
Wow,
That's
like,
it.
Damn.
tonight is the night of the silent plate.
And then athletics, I rolled a 14.
Just fails.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
one.
for fuck's sake!
That's one failure and 3 successes.
Okay. So the. If you can do the math, my laptop's a crying wolf. I think it's going. Oh, this is supposed to be a work device. The rolls were 11 plus her mod for athletics, but she rolled a 3 plus her mod for stealth. So I'm pretty certain she fails the stealth. It's 15 total for athletics, and it's 8 total for no, it's 6 total for stealth.
15 just succeeds. At 16 total? For stealth?
Let me check. No, 6.
Okay, 6 fails. However, everybody else so far has succeeded, I believe, on stealth. Bithynia?
So, about that. I rolled a 4 on athletics, but I rolled a 14 on myself, so while I may be falling, I'm not being really loud.
Falling
about it, I
quietly.
think. Would it, my athletics, though, be... The only question I have is, would the athletics be at advantage with plummet?
Are you using plummet to fly up? Because that would be a separate check for the
Well-
wind.
Oh, well, yes. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yes.
so you, okay, so
That's
if,
what I wanted to do.
so if you're gonna fly up with plummet, make an athletics check with plummet, plummet stat block. I'm gonna say roll again. I'll say before you roll, or have you rolled?
I rolled.
Okay. Before you commit to this course of action, try not to let your dice roll influence your choice, but you do get the sense that the higher you climb, the stronger the wind's gonna be in this particular part of the land.
Well, I rolled a 4 on it. I have no athletics, so I'm doomed either way. But the 1, I'm doomed with plummet.
Okay. I will say that after an attempt with plummet where you basically, plummet gets a foot off the ground and is immediately carried to the edge of the karst. And like comes to a screeching halt just before going off the cliff edge, and you're like, nope. Like, this wind will not permit flying. It's not so much... It's a combination of the altitude and the geology, or in the geography is causing wind tunnels to basically envelop around the cliff edge. So returning to climb with the others as part of it, because you tried this first. It was a group check. Everybody else succeeded to a degree where it doesn't matter. You stumble a couple places, and you do actually fall at one point, but Botch immediately catches you. And hoists you... wait, you would be further down. Amalia immediately catches you and hoists you up, and... you are all able to climb up quietly enough and deftly enough that you are all on the edge of the... Oop, didn't mean to grab all of you. Deftly enough that you are all sort of on the edge. Ah, damn it. They added this new thing to Foundry where if I don't press escape, it doesn't deselect my selection. So you're kind of all perched on here. There's like a 5-foot ledge that you're crouched behind at this point, still keeping low. Because if you straight up stood up, then the griffins that are keeping watch over there would see you. They're kind of just like...
Just one small point, sorry DM, I can't see anything.
I turned on global illumination.
Let me refresh the page.
It is a big map, so it might just be taking a while to load. It is quite a... For some reason, it's quite a... It's a resource-intensive map.
It shouldn't be. It's no bigger than some
of
of the
okay,
other
no, I
maps.
just refreshed it and it's fine. Okay,
It's no bigger than some of the other maps I've...
Well, anything is too resource-intensive for this laptop.
Gotcha.
It's slow. It takes about 10 seconds to do the dice roll animation on D&D Beyond, so...
I feel like that is grounds for a strike. That's just criminal. Okay. Oh, whoopsie doodle. I don't know why I did this thing. Okay, there we go. So. You guys are hiding for the moment successfully from these griffins, which are having a look around, and keeping watch.
What should we do?
I think we should let me get the final kill on whatever's messing around here. Whenever that shows up.
One of them hops up. Oops. One of them hops up onto the nest here. The other sort of... Oop, wrong button.
How do they look? Do they look... Is there anything peculiar and, like, can I see there's anything odd? I don't know. I don't think I can describe as I'm kind of expecting something to be, like, latched onto them, like...
Make a perception check.
Agro.
Disadvantage.
Yep. Disadvantage I can do. Dice are still rolling, stand by. Come on. Well, that's a 7. That's a... Someone else might see it before I do. Oh, 7 total.
In this low light, with your limited knowledge on... Again, I don't know what I'm doing to do that. In this low light, with your limited knowledge on griffins, you can't see anything out of the ordinary.
Before we get started, I'd say this quietly, but so my mic picks me up. Before we get started, does anyone need the ability to see better?
I could
Use a
try.
slot, but I can do it. I just mean in terms of dark vision. I can give that
Yeah,
for those. Does anyone need it? Like,
Oh no. Bacchius maybe.
I can't see too good either.
right. I will spend a sorcery point to subtle cast.
Just as a point, just for rules, I giveth and I taketh, but I giveth. Dim light does not impose disadvantage on attack rolls or anything to that effect. It's just perception checks.
Kind of, that's the one I'm kind of interested in because I'm not really fussed about the griffins. It's what's causing the stuff.
Okay.
So I will spend a sorcery point to subtle cast Dark Vision on Hilira. So Hilira can see it better, and then I'll also subtle cast. I'll look towards Bakios and say, "Can you see well enough to hit?"
I think I can, yeah.
And then I'll subtle cast on myself so I can see. But that's all. That's all the prep I do, and I just stand ready.
Easy enough. So, you guys have dark vision. What's everybody doing?
I'm going to take the lead from everyone else, because I know what I can do. I can just jump in and start swinging, so I'm going to crouch ready. Just go.
Hey, you see where I'm standing?
Yeah.
So if I'm standing here on the opposite side, can I produce an Echo Knight ready with my axes?
On the opposite side, where?
So if, like, I'm here, I want it to be, like, here.
Oh. Eyeballing it, you don't see any way you could produce it where they're not going to see. The griffins, at least.
Oh. Okay, I will hold the action to produce an Echo then.
Okay. What y'all doing?
Waiting for whatever is gonna come out from wherever it's coming from. Wherever that may be.
You might need to get closer or check the nest. All right.
Data's like,
I will.
I don't have anything that could pacify them. I could blind them.
I could try hypnotizing them. I haven't tried it yet, but
I have the ability to be invisible.
If you want, I can go in there, axes blazing, and create a distraction with an echo.
That could work.
Or I could be invisible.
Oh,
Could easily help with that.
That actually is better.
Invisible sounds better.
I think Bithynia should go in invisible.
also if you want, I could try creating a hypnotizing pattern.
Best
I don't know
thing
if
if they
it
don't
works.
see it at all, but we probably won't have much longer before they notice us. I say do the invisibility, and see if you can spot it. If they notice something, we'll be there.
Yeah? Okay. So I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. And you're gonna approach them?
Hilira will say, as you're going, like, so, will say, if they see you, they're about to get you, if you drop the spell, I can get you out there quickly, but only if you need it.
Okay. Alright.
Hilira
I'm going to cast
is reminded
invisibility
she
on
has
myself.
also an extra motive velocity. Which is
She's keeping hold. She's keeping hold of that for now.
Okay, cool. Okay, Bithynia, make a stealth check with advantage.
I rolled a 3 and then I rolled an 8.
Are you proficient in stealth?
I am not proficient in anything that is helpful for this encounter.
Title of the episode.
It's the worst possible.
That's the title in the episode.
Okay. This feels unkinder than I mean it, but I'm almost like around to Yzma, like, these were my best shoes. You're in fine scholarly attire, so you do unfortunately trip over your robes ever so slightly as you scramble up. There's like rocks that tumble to the ground. And as you sort of try to make up for it and quickly scramble to the side, you at one point you almost crawl forward, like in a little like mad scramble crawl to get away from the others, in order to try and succeed. You just make an awful scraping sound with your sandal against the base of the against like a section of rock where there is no grass, and the Griffin's like "Rah!" And so they are going to... So you're about here at this point, Bithynia. They've heard something. They're hopping down here. Now you're staying still, so they still can't technically see you. But something's up, and they're trying to figure out what. And they're like...
Look, I just hit up the bathhouse like 2 days ago. I'm good.
Yeah, so you smell of lovely soaps and other perfumes. What are you doing, Bithynia? They're confused, so they're not attacking yet, but you don't have long.
I'm gonna walk over there. Closer to the party.
Attempting to be quiet or closer to the party?
Yeah.
Okay, make another stealth check with advantage again.
I got a 10 and an 11.
So there was a small piece of cliff-like terrain that like rock that jutted out slightly higher than the rest of it. And you stub your toe. Not just any toe, that pinky toe. I'm talking like against a table leg, kind of. And you just go, fuck! And there's just like an echo, fuck, 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 fuck. It just... The griffins both go... I need everyone to roll for initiative.
Oh, my. I mean, as ways to start initiative go, that's a pretty good one.
It is 12 for me.
Alright, that was your...
17 from me.
Oh, sorry, initiative. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the time. I'm conscious of that too, Erica. So... Cool, let me just quickly create that. Let's roll for the griffins.
It's the first time I've ever rolled a double-digit number.
Okay, so 12 for you, Bithynia, you said? Who had the 13? Did I hear a 13 from someone?
I had a 17.
17, sorry. I'm gonna roll for Helira Morse just for simplicity's sake, because I've got the tab
Yeah,
open.
thank you. Sorry,
Hey,
laptop do no working.
I has a 13.
22 for Helira.
Oh,
My
Jesus.
dice is still rolling. I'll let you know when it finishes.
Would you like me to roll for you?
No, it's the dice is I can see it slowly moving across the screen.
How much was it, Amalia?
13.
13, okay. Botch?
1.
I rolled a natural 20, so I have 23.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, I roll with advantage.
Scotty, what'd you get?
10.
Okay. Why don't we... Okay. Top of the initiative order, Botch.
Okay, so knowing that we're not trying to kill the griffins here, I don't immediately go into a rage. Instead, I would like to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 over here.
Okay.
And scream at the top of my lungs, "Hey, you guys!"
Roll a performance check.
Oh god, this is not going to be good.
Or
It is the electric company.
performance check. Performance or deception, your choice.
Ooh. I'm equally bad at both, so I'm
Sorry.
just going to go with a performance check of 13.
Okay, I'm gonna roll, I guess, an insight check on their part.
Yeah.
That was a natural 1 and a 6.
Okay, so yeah,
So,
they're coming after me.
Yeah,
Good chat.
you're a big, beefy boy, compared to... And Bithynia's still invisible, technically, so... As far as they're concerned, you're, because, like, they've just about barely seen you guys, so they haven't quite had their animals register the rest of the party. All they see is big, beefy fellow roaring, and so that's like, yep, target. So you watch them as they both turn towards you.
Okay, yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Do you hold an action or anything?
Well, have you... Oh, no, that... Oh, well...
Okay. I'll say bonus action to do the big shout.
Okay, then I'll hold an action to take a swing with my... I'll ready... Like, the first one that comes into striking range, I'm going to whack him in the face.
Cool. Axe or war scythe?
Axe.
Okay.
Absolutely my axe. No, actually, do you know what? Fuck it, we're going to use the war scythe this time.
I was about to say you spent enough money on it.
Yeah, I know, we're going to use the war scythe this time.
Okay,
As soon as I get within 10 feet of range.
By this point, Bithynia, I'll say that you could have attuned couplet or set up couplet with her collar, so you can use that during this fight, if you like.
Okay.
You have the notes for that? They should be on your character sheet.
Yeah. I included it.
Excellent.
Notes.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I made sure it's added on D&D Beyond, because I...
Yeah, it's in my inventory.
Perfect. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'd been on top of that. Helida's turn.
Well, we don't want to fight these things, so... Camera. So, the last time we fought some big scary birds, we found out they weren't very good with the charisma saving throws, and that went well. So, she is going to use a 5th level spell slot to cast Banishment, upcast, so they both have to make the save.
Okay. Was that so it's a charisma saving throw?
Charisma saving throw.
Her initial assessment appears to be correct. Alright. Yeah, no. So, one of them rolled a 6, the other rolled a 17, minus 1 to 16.
The CC was 17, so they both fail.
Oh!
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make them invisible rather than delete them, but Illyria just snaps her fingers and they both get just.
And then Hilira is going to say, with that, you've got a minute, I'll be ready to cast it again when they come back, but then I'm out.
Okay, we're gonna keep this initiative thing going, but we're gonna do it a bit more fast and loose. So, first round, what is everybody doing?
I'm assuming that I can't do anything because I've had my turn, so I'm just going to
So
keep
everybody's
quiet.
taking that, so, new round, everybody's...
Be right back.
10 rounds
Okay.
from...
10 rounds.
from Hilira's action.
Okay, so, everybody who is still to go this round, what are you doing?
I would like to investigate the eggs
Okay.
to see if, I don't know, if there's anything
Yeah.
special about them.
Jump up. Oh, sorry, I'm moving you for you. Sorry. Go ahead. So yeah, you can move.
Scottinus will do the same thing.
Okay.
And try and investigate it
You want me
because
to
he's got
move you, or-
dark vision, so he's got a bit better visible. If you're okay to move me, sorry to be a pain.
No, you're fine. So just a quick mirthful leap up there. 10, 15, 20, 25. All right, both of you make separate investigation checks, or one can aid the other. Up to you.
What's your...
Investigation.
I rolled another nat 1.
I hadn't said whether or not I was going to aid or not. So, do you want me to make my own one, Romeo? Do you want me to
Your
aid
call.
for?
What would you have done?
Probably hit because I've got blind sight. Not blind sight. You know what I mean? Dark vision. I'd probably look myself.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Yep.
Investigation. Did you say?
Yep. Or perception, whatever you want.
I'll go for investigation because it's a +8. 17.
Okay. Scotty, you look down And with your dark vision, something catches you. You see a little bit of movement. Coming out from underneath one of the eggs is a series of... Make sure I got this right. Sorry, I'm in the wrong place. A series of... Or is it a pair of small little fleshy things? Like, almost like threads that have a little static-shaped thing at the end of it. And they're attached to one of the other eggs. And they seem to be sort of like doing like this kind of thing. And you see small little spiderweb cracks in the egg originating from where they're doing this. Xanthia, you pick up one of the eggs to have a look at it. And you pick it up and you immediately realize, so they're about like this big. It doesn't feel like a hard shell like you would expect. It feels soft and fleshy, like a soft fleshy balloon. And as soon as you pick it up,
this feels wrong.
The egg immediately deflates in your hands, revealing a small, like almost salamander, like it's about like this big, like a salamander-like creature. Oh, like a weird.
Can I drop it?
Like a weird little axolotl, that has 6 little gecko-like arms, and this like sad scrotum-like tail that's like the deflated thing that it was using to resemble an egg. You can drop it. It is going to get a surprise attack against you because you rolled a net 1.
Yeah, sure.
Just like Pompoko, but with eggs.
Actually, it's okay. It's not gonna use its barbed proboscis, which is the name of the attack. It's instead gonna use torpor spores. I didn't pick the name. I need Scotty, Xanthia. Let me just quickly check the. Let me pull them up actually, real quick. So at this point, actually, Scotty, the one you look, deflates, and 2 others, revealing 4 more, like 3 more of these axolotl-type creatures.
Basically, it's this. We've been cuckooed, basically. Looks like it.
All right. And yeah, so they're about here all together. Cool. So yeah, those are the sorts of little creatures you see before you. Bithynia, I will say, as they drop down, I'll let you make a nature check examining them, should you like. While she is rolling that, let me just do that calculation I was going to do. So the one near you, Xanthia. Okay, no, 30 feet. I need everybody, and I mean everybody, to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
Everyone within 10 feet,
Yes.
which should be Amalia and Scotty, get a +4.
And so you just watch as it's like little tail flesh bulb thing at the end just goes, and just a cloud of blue spores get released. Is that another that one, Xanthia?
This one goes into dice jail. What the fuck?
What'd you get on your nature check, Bithynia?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You've heard of creatures like this. What's unusual is you've never heard of them going after griffins. They typically actually dwell more in the Cataclysm Mountains, going after the eggs of wyverns, chimera, or even dragons. These are known as egg hunters. Not a terribly imaginative name, but they basically have a pouch at the base of their tail they can inflate and sort of change like an octopus can to make them indistinguishable from the eggs of almost any creature. And they'll hide in the nest until they've basically drained each single egg. Like a... what's that thing that you... The egg... It's got like a weird little red cup thing, and you put it in that, and you... Never mind.
I don't know, but eggs Benedict is delicious, so I can understand why they'd want to prey on these.
Griffon eggs Benedict as well. Roll-wise for Skotinos, 31 for his Constitution save. For Hilira, 14.
Dirty 20 for Botch.
Succeeds. Did anybody get lower than a 14, other than Xanthia?
For what?
For the saving throw
Sure.
that as they release these clouds of spores.
Question.
Oh, I got a 6 total.
Yes, Amalia?
Because I'm within feet distance, Santia, is it +4 or is it a D4?
+4 trade.
Okay, 16.
Oh, right, sorry, soft-boiled is what I was thinking of, where you have it in the cup and you eat it like in a spoon whilst it's still in the shell. But anyway, 16, Amalia? Succeeds. So, Xanthia, you are poisoned for 1 minute.
No.
Whilst poisoned this
Okay.
way, you can either take an action or bonus action on your turn, but not both, and you cannot take reactions. You feel like a wave of lethargy come over you as you suddenly become tired. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns, ending the effect on a success.
All right.
Okay. Now we're in, so now I'm gonna roll initiative for these fine fellows. Oh good, I did put their stat blocks into the thing.
That's 1 turn out of the 10 for Hilira, I'm guessing.
Yeah, what did Hilaire roll?
Oh, for the initiative, I'm so sorry, I don't recall. Much higher than Skotinos. Skotinos only ended up on a 10. Let me see if I can find it.
Sorry, not on initiative, sorry, on the Constitution saving throw.
Oh, 14.
14 just succeeds.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up on the initiative order, it is... Oh no, wait, that's the one that just went. So, Scotty, the egg hunter near you is the next... Oops, sorry, it is wrong. Yeah, the egg hunter near you. Same thing. Everybody make another Constitution saving throw.
Now, if I failed the first one, what do I do now? Roll again?
Oh, you failed the first one?
Yeah, I only got a 6 total.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I will say you're technically immune. So the same effect. Did you hear what I described happened to Xanthia? So same thing applies to you. I'll say you're technically under the effects, so you're immune to the effects. So no need to roll again. Thank you for looking out for that.
I mean, as a paladin, Xanthia is immune to disease. Would that include
This is a poison, not a disease. Sorry.
Nah.
Do
What's
I need
worth
to
a
make
try?
another- Do I need to make another con saving roll?
Sorry, saying no, you do not, because you're technically immune to it because you're already under its effects. You do say to it, "Oh yeah, what are you gonna do? Poison me
DC
again?"
14, yeah?
Sorry.
DC
14.
14, right? Hilira has now failed as well.
Okay.
I have a 21 on the second one.
Failed.
Well, Xanthia, you don't have to roll this time because you're already under the effects.
Yeah.
Okay, Amalia, you're also poisoned, Botch?
16.
Okay, so you succeed as well. Everybody who failed,
Yeah.
like I said, action or bonus action cannot take reactions. That's its turn. One of the griffins... No, they're
It's
banished.
still banished.
Never mind. Amalia, your turn.
I'm just gonna wait outside the egg basket with my axe and then produce an echo here if I can.
Where are you waving? Oh, right. Yes, you can.
Yes, produce an echo in the box, and the echo will also hold her action with her axe.
Here?
The box next to it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, we're just holding our axes, waiting.
Okay, Bithynia, your turn.
It's these 4 little things right here that we can see, right?
Yes. I really need like a highlight system.
Okay, that's all good. Can I just cast Eldritch Blast on them?
Yes, you can.
The one that's
Yeah.
okay.
Anyone in particular?
The one that's closest to me.
Okay. Go ahead and make 2 attack rolls.
21.
Definitely hits.
10 damage.
Okay.
Okay. And did I kill it?
No. It took a hit, but it's still very much alive.
Damn. And then
I'll say
19
this:
to hit on
you
this-
watch though, as you hit it with it, it's gonna. You watch as the again, almost like an octopus changing color. Like this, its skin pigment changes to cerulean blue.
So 19 for the second Eldritch Blast.
Also hits.
15 damage.
This second shot doesn't do as much damage as you thought it would. So the first one did about exactly as much damage as you expected. This second one, it seemed to be resistant to all of a sudden.
Oh my god, we're against Borg.
Fantastic. All right. So my invisibility's dropped by now.
Oh yeah, no, you attack and that instantly drops
okay.
it, yeah.
Yeah. So. Okay.
Roll the first attack again, just in case you get a nat 20. Because you would have had advantage on the first shot, because you were invisible.
I in fact did not.
Okay, was worth
I
double
rolled a
checking.
16 total.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
No problem. Cool, that's your actions, and you have movement, but that would be the extent. Would you like to move?
Yeah,
or?
we're good.
Okay.
I'm good here.
Scotty.
Okay. Can I...
Sorry, just before we take your turn, both Scotty and Amalia repeat your saving throws for the spores. Sorry, both Bithynia and Amalia repeat your saving throws for the spores.
Is it still Constitution?
Correct.
Okay.
I got a 14.
14 just succeeds. You are... you shrug off the effects as you steel yourself against them. You know, you did way harder substances in your college days, so this is cakewalk for you. And you're immune to the effects for the next 24 hours.
I rolled a 16.
16 succeeds as well, so you're both immune to that egg hunt. You both failed with the same egg hunter, so yes, you're immune to his spores for the next 24 hours. Okay, Scotty, go ahead and take your turn. Sorry about that.
Being used to and familiar with all kinds of poisons and all that fun, although I resisted it, I think it's reasonable to say that he determined that it was a poison attack. I'm right next to Xanthia, so I also think I can spot that you're feeling it somewhat. So for my action, I'm going to sort of grab you by the shoulder, kind of squeeze your shoulder in how like with one hand, as if the beginnings of what would be like the massage type, but probably a bit too hard, so it kind of like almost like jerks you out of it. I'm casting it's not a cast, sorry, it's an ability. I use Farrakha's Balm, which cures you another D8 plus 3, so I'll do that. But I also cure 1 poison effect, so I cure you of that poison. So I break that poison effect on you, and you also heal 13 hit points if you needed it.
I was just down a single hit point after your last balm, so that was cool.
Sweet. You get the extra one as well. No problem. So that's my action, and then for my bonus action, I will spend 2 sorcery points. I need to mark that down a few, and I'm going to look down towards. Which one am I going to choose? Oh, you know what? I'm going to cast. I'm just going to check my maths for this.
Wait, was that an action and a bonus action? Oh wait, you're immune. You succeeded both times. Yep.
Yep. And I'm using 2 sorcery points so I can cast a spell as a bonus action because
Cool.
Farrakhan's Bomb is not a
It
spell.
was about the spores. I thought you'd failed. My bad.
No, that's fine. No problem. 1, 2. So there's 4 in total, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So at 5th level, I'm casting Blood Clench
Okay.
to affect each of them for a Constitution saving throw, please.
Ooh, they're good at those. Not that good.
Worth an attempt, I suppose.
So, first one, 21. We'll say that's the
Succeeds.
one closest to you. Second one, natural 7 for a total of 10.
Okay, that one fails.
Third, let me just mark that before, oh, sorry, that's not invisible. Uh, 12 for the next one.
Fail.
Jesus. And 12 again for the last one.
Fails as well.
Okay. And just
Cool.
double check I didn't miss any magic resistance. Nope.
Cool. I assume they have blood of some description.
Yeah, these are living creatures.
Cool. Yep, so I kind of, with one hand, I kind of Vulcan neck pinch without making you pass out on something. And the other hand, I kind of reach out and then I kind of do the whole...
Nice.
And then I'm just kind of like, with my fingers are kind of flexing as I'm kind of like pulling at the strings.
They kind of... as they try to move. Anything else to your turn?
I've not got the one next to me. Don't let it hit me. And that's my turn.
Next is one of these ones that can't do anything on his turn. Repeats the saving throw at the end, right?
Yes.
Okay, he spends his whole time twitching, trying to resist it. Nope, does not. He is still paralyzed. Griffin's still banished. This other egg hunter is also still paralyzed. Repeats his saving throw at the end. Ooh, that's a 17.
Succeeds.
He is no longer paralyzed. Oop, damn it. Okay. Next up is... Oh yeah, the Griffin's vanished. Bacchios. Top of the initiative order.
How tall is the mound of bones that this is in? How...
5 feet.
Oh, 5 feet. Okay, cool. So I'd be able to easily see what was going on there. So I would like to run 5, 10, 15, and I'm 10 feet away from these two things, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Then, so I would like to take out my cobalt scythe and strike at this guy straight below me.
With a wide arc, you like cutting a daisy. You go ahead and make an attack roll.
That's a 19.
Definitely hits.
Fantastic. Okay, so that will be when you hit a creature with this using it takes an extra. Okay, so the base damage is 1d10 plus 6. So that is 12 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then it's going to take an extra d8 of lightning, and that's 1d8 lightning. So 1 lightning damage
For a total of...
for a total of 13.
Okay, you watch as using its reaction, its skin changes to a sort of sky blue, and it gives itself its resistance to the attack. So you do...
Okay, and
28.
then as part of that as well, I can choose a creature within 10 feet, and it must make a DC 15 Dexterity saving throw. So to the 3 o'clock of that, so the one that my mouse is circling, can that make a Dexterity saving throw, please?
It's a 7 for a total of 15.
Oh, 15 is the DC, so it
They're
just saves.
squirrely
Okay.
little fuckers.
Squirrely little fuckers. Okay, fantastic. Right, well, I believe that will be my turn. I don't see enough reason to get angry just yet.
Okay. Helida's turn.
I don't want to get closer because I've got to be ready with the griffins. So I will guiding bolt the one that is closest to. I will guiding bolt one of the ones that isn't frozen. I can't see the map clearly, so GM's choice on that.
So you're gonna guiding bolt the one Bacchios tried to hit.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
So range spell attack.
Just the first level guiding bolt?
Just the first level.
Got it.
10 plus 19.
19 does hit.
A 46 is the number. $18 points of radiant damage.
Big hit. This thing just wriggles unhappily. Seemed to go through as well. No resistance that you could. Oh wait, yeah, no, he had already used the reaction.
Oh, so it seems like it has like a one-off deflection of some description, possibly.
Best you can tell. Yeah.
Hilary is more focused on making sure that the reference covers don't come back, so doesn't notice that. No real bonus actions that we're going to use here, so no, that's all we got.
Okay.
And well, actually, I'm going to make sure that she's moved out. Like, let me just see if I can somehow load the map. I'm struggling, but is she sufficiently away from the combat that they're not going to come straight after her?
Oh, definitely. They have a cornucopia of other targets.
Yeah, she's gonna go back into kind of like crouch down, so she's not appearing as a main kind of threat, and is then just kind of ready for the griffins when they return.
Easy peasy.
In 8 rounds time.
Okay, this egg hunter spends his turn twitching, makes his saving throw at the. Oh, that becomes an 18.
Succeeds.
So he's no longer paralyzed. Xanthia, it is your turn.
I'm gonna attack that one with my trident.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Does I've got basic mathematics, 15 hit?
A 15 just misses.
Okay, second attack. Does a 23 hit? Okay. Then for damage, that would be 9 points of damage.
Okay.
And for my bonus action, I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on Scottinos.
Got it.
So you get +2 on AC, I believe.
Thank you.
Wait, you're still poisoned, right?
No, Scotty
I cured it
me.
with my Hand of Farrakha.
Thank you for looking out for that. Next up, it is this egg hunter. He is going to. Oh, first, let me see if he gets his spores back. That is, he does get his spores back, so he's going to once again. First things first, he releases a cloud of spores. He hadn't released one. Wait, he hadn't released one yet, had he? Not that one. God, so hard to...
You must have, because you just regained it.
Okay, so... Yeah, so this... Everyone just trying to think who would be immune to it, because they saved the first time.
I think it would just be Xanthia.
Okay.
Because Bithynia failed the second one with a 6.
Okay, con save on everybody again. Except Xanthia.
Also, Scotty and Amalia still get a +4.
So you succeeded against a different one's spores, Bithynia. Your resistance carries... It's creature-specific.
Does, Sorry, is Hilary still within range of the spore attack?
30 feet... just, yes.
Alright, cool. 28 for Skatinos.
I'll give her advantage because she's behind cover. I don't know why I shouted that. I'll give her advantage because she's behind cover.
Okay. If the DC's 14, right?
Yep.
Yeah, she passes.
Cool. Immune to his as well. Anybody get lower than a 14?
Am I doing a con save again?
If you could, yes.
And you said lower than a what?
A 14. Okay. You are poisoned once more. Action or reaction.
These things suck.
He's then going to do 2 barbed proboscis attacks against you, Scotty.
Git.
25 to hit.
Can't, even with a shield and everything. Yeah, that will hit.
12 to hit.
Misses.
Okay. You take... 11 points of piercing damage. And 4 points of necrotic damage. As it basically seems like almost like a straw just drain your blood. And you watch as a couple of its wounds close up ever so slightly as it regains 4 hit points.
Okay.
Oh wait, it was at full health, never mind.
I need to do a Constitution saving throw for my concentration, which 80. Yeah, I succeed for maintaining the hold. I've only got one person in hold at the moment, anyway.
Griffon skips his turn. Amalia, your turn.
Okay. 1 second. 1 second. Hang on. Okay, you see the little things that are trying to poison us?
Yeah?
As my echo gets closer to it, can I shout out, I can kill it, right?
Ah, yes! Please do!
Go ahead.
Amalia, you approach the one that's still paralyzed.
Yeah.
Cool. FYI, this will be an automatic critical hit if you hit him. So it's made with advantage as well.
Okay.
Do with that info
and
what
then
you will.
With my axe advantage, we're gonna go slashy slash.
Cool. Regular axe?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
19.
Definitely hits.
And then with damage. 1 second.
It's an automatic critical, so double whatever you get on the d12.
Okay. So 12. Yes. Wait. I rolled a 7 plus 7 is 14 plus 5.
19. You slice off a good portion of this thing's tail and just blood goes everywhere. It's looking real rough.
And then I hit again.
Okay. Go ahead and make another attack roll. With advantage.
14.
With advantage?
Oh, 1 minute. Roll again. Alright, sorry, 23!
23 does hit. 14 would have missed.
And then damage is 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus 5.
How do you want to do this?
So you see people that are angry, they just keep slashing it.
Mm-hmm.
As I slash it, I'll be like, don't hurt my friends!
And, you slash it once, just bisecting another section of his tail as you shout that. Then you think for a moment, in a rare moment of brilliance. Well, that's unfair. In a moment of brilliance, and just with the flat end of your blade, you shout 4 and you just hear a as it just flies off into the night.
Hey.
And you swear you all hear from the sound of a beautiful lyre. Da 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 da. And that one's dead. Yeeted off the cliff. Or it's up to you if you wanted to do that. I just thought it'd be funny.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Cool. Anything else in your turn, Amalia?
And then she skips down into the pit.
Okay. Yeah, go right.
Yep.
Cool. Bithynia, your turn.
Okay. So, and only one of them's dead. Okay, so I'll try to nuke the one that's closest, or the one that's in between. Yeah, that's closest to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hitting it with what?
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it, because I don't know if anything else is gonna pop up.
I think you have Raltham's Psychic Lance if you wanted to. Do I ever remember right that you have that?
Should I mean...
I know I'm not trying to dictate how to play. I was just double checking for myself as well. Yeah, you could do that if you want. It's sorry, it's entirely up to you. I'm not
Yeah, I could. You want me to roll on that one?
It's
Psychic
entirely
Lance.
your preference. Sorry, I don't mean to overstep or run roughshod over your play style.
I'm just trying to maximize how much damage I could do, and I can do a potential of...
Ralph's Psychic Lance at 5th level would be 96 psychic damage.
Okay, let's try it. See if I can blast this thing into... Yeah.
It's gonna.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and make... it's an attack roll or is it a saving throw? Intelligence saving throw. So that's a 10, which becomes a 7. So no.
Oh,
No.
nice.
Go ahead and roll some damage on that.
Do I roll or I don't roll?
Yeah, so you rolled 96. I said go ahead and roll some damage on that.
Okay. On the Psychic Lance, 8d6.
9. 5th level.
27.
Did you get an automatic upcast? Oh, damn.
27 damage.
And you're targeting the one next to Amalia, I believe, right?
Yeah. Yes, because that's the one that's already been damaged, right?
It is a one that has already been damaged. If you wanted to
Okay,
target
yeah,
the one that
yeah,
was
that's-
most damaged, make a perception check.
Hey, nat 20 plus 3.
Okay, so the one I'm circling right now is the one that's been most damaged.
Okay, so I can target that one instead then?
Yeah, certainly. And with
Okay,
that,
yeah,
so
there you
you,
go.
how do you want to do this?
I guess it's not a finger gun. Just going to lift my hand in the air. And, I guess wave to Bakios.
You watch as she does like a wave to you, Botch, and then
Elbow, wrist,
the
wrist.
eye of Medamai, the glyph, appears in the center of her forehead, and you kind of just do like this with your face, Bithynia, almost like you do like a finger gun with your forehead, kind of like that's the best way I can describe it. You like do this, and you fire like a. If you've seen Dragon Ball Z, like a Frieza finger ray that's like of a bright sky blue from your forehead that seems to pierce this creature, but it does no visible damage. And then you seem to just... You guys hear a... just as, like, you don't so much hear it as you feel it, as you just feel the psychic energy. As Bithynia, full-on carry style, just angles her head, and you watch as this thing twitches, and then It's full on scanner style, just.
As you all are in the splash zone.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully it didn't get in your eye.
Everybody make a Botch, Scotty, and Xanthia all make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I let it happen. It's fine.
19.
You're
Right.
fine.
22.
Okay, so none of it flies into your mouth.
Yeah. Oh, I'm all for it.
Cool, and that one's dead. Anything... oh, you're still poisoned, so that you can't take a bonus action. You can move if you want. You don't have to. It's just... Bithynia, did you want to move on your turn?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. It cut out for me.
No, you're quite alright. Again, you don't have to.
I will just move over by the cleric.
That's gonna be the title of the episode at some point. I don't know if it's today, but that's definitely... Okie dokie. Very well. Scotty, your turn.
I think both the creatures that were affected by my blood clench are now not affected.
Correct.
Is that correct? So yeah, the concentration's now gone on that. I guess I don't have any way of knowing how easily a creature succeeds or fails a constitution. All I know is 3 of them failed, so I think that
I'm gonna
it's
say
affected.
roll just a general intelligence check, because it's so when you use your bludge clench, it is a little bit like physically restraining someone, at least in terms of
Like no puppetry, yeah.
like
16?
okay, as in like based on the amount of resistance you felt you had to overcome, I'll say you get you in character get a sense of its ability to resist the effect that out of character would translate to knowing that its constitution score is 16.
I'm getting Aes Sedai trying to hold back the first come Dragonborn vibes with the difficulty. That said, the annoying thing is, because of the way that the genius that made this character works, all these damn things are Constitution.
And multiple times I offered you other options, and multiple times
I
you
was
turned
all
them
for it.
down.
I was all for it. I am happy to lie in this bed.
I know you're
I
know you're all for it. I'm expressing admiration. I'm just pointing out how many outs I gave you for the audience.
I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers. Because I don't know how wise these things are. I'm going to cast this at 4th level, and I'm going to target. I'm going to save my sorcery points for now. I'm going to cast it at the one that's basically directly in front of me.
Okay, what are you casting, sorry?
Dissonant Whispers. It's a wisdom saving throw.
17? Oh wait, 20. I didn't realize it was proficient in wisdom saving.
Yeah,
throws.
okay. It succeeds. I think it still takes half of this. It does, but it doesn't have to move away, so it takes half the damage I'm about to describe. Which is... Oh, go away. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry, ignore that. I've cast it at 4th level, so that's... Where are you? There you are. Half of whatever this is. Half of 17... 8 points of...
Got it.
Psychic damage.
Anything else on your turn?
Yes. As a bonus action, I am going to... because I do have them, which is nice. I'm going to use my Bardic Inspiration, and I'm going to inspire Barkios and say...
Nice.
No one's won the bet yet. Well...
Okay, Griffon is still banished. Barkios, it's your turn.
Right, upon seeing Xanthia throw the shadiest of shade at me, I would like to rage.
Do it.
I'm not going to take on an aspect of my chimeric armor, but I will let my wild magic go.
You guys watch his black heels just Gallagher's. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Shadowy tendrils lash around me. Each creature of my choice that I can see within 30 feet of me must succeed a Constitution saving throw. So I would like both of the Egg Hunters and Xanthia to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Excuse me?
Egg Hunters both rolled trash.
So Xanthia, what's your
23.
Okay, yeah, you succeed. So this doesn't happen to you. So the shadowy tendril just sort of like, limply just like limply just like caresses you, whereas it grips the other two.
You watch his black seems to pull in the darkness into himself, and his eyes go black, and then just like his shadow seems to so it's based around his feet, but his shadow seems to erupt tentacles and tendrils and start lashing out. How much damage do they take?
10 points of necrotic.
Okay.
Tempest PvP when?
Okay. And for your turn?
I would like that.
Sorry.
In terms of taking my action, I'm going to take my. I should realize I only took one attack last turn when I could have taken two. So my first attack will be I'm going to step forward, and fearing that Xanthia is going to win the bet somehow by claiming more of these egg hunters than I do, I'm going to attack the one straight in front of her.
Hold on, I'm not the one with the bet.
Bithynia.
Oh, that was Bithynia, wasn't it?
You did watch her
This is
pop
great.
one.
You're angry at the wrong girl, and it's great. I'm loving it. I'm so for it.
You did watch.
Oh.
You did watch Bithynia just pop one like a zit. So just bear that in
Oh,
mind.
I'm just so panicky that I'm gonna lose the bet. I'm just forgetting shit in my rage.
What was that for?
You're not the smart one. You're the helpful one.
Oh.
So I'm.
Are you calling me stupid now?
What? In my rage, I just ignore her, and I'm gonna attack the one that's in front of Xanthia first.
Okay, go on.
That's gonna be a 21 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Hell yeah, it does. That's gonna be 12 points of slashing damage plus 2 points of lightning damage.
He's gonna use a reaction to half that as once again adapts to it. So 12. What was the total?
And 12, so 14 points of slashing combined with lightning damage, and then the other one needs to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okie dokie, so that's halved to 7.
Yeah.
Other one needs to make a dexterity saving throw. That's a 19.
That succeeds, so it doesn't happen. And then I'm going to attack that same one again.
Okay.
To start with. Ooh, that's going to be a 24 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Thank you. So that's going to be, another 10 points of slashing damage. Plus, I dropped the die on the floor. But that's another 5 points potentially of lightning damage.
Looking real rough, but he's still alive.
Good stuff. And then can you also please make a dexterity saving throw for the other one?
Again, 19.
Yeah, she succeeds.
They're
Okay, that's my turn.
motherfuckers. Like the bolt jumps from your war scythe but doesn't hit it.
That's my turn.
Heliada's turn.
The same, I think, again, because want to kind of be ready with most of the big hitters to banish the Griffons. I think it's just going to be another guiding bolt. This time we're going to do. How badly hurt do they seem?
They both look bloodied, but one looks slightly rougher than the other.
Okay. Hilira's going to. Yeah, we're going to guiding bolt. We'll do it at second level.
Okay, which one?
On the one that's more badly wounded.
Cool. Attack roll.
Yep, on that. Oh, I think that's going to hit. 24 to hit.
Definitely hits. He's already used
And
his
that's
reaction.
5d6 radiant. 14 points of radiant damage.
Bursts. She just turns him into a scorch mark that gets erased off the map.
And there's no real bonus action that I got here. So.
Oh wait, no, sorry, I
think,
counted wrong. He's still alive, but he's at 1 hit point.
Oh, well, that's okay. We'll allow it. Yeah, that's. I think because the channel divinity is an action. Yeah, that's everything.
Okay.
She's all action only, really, and she'll be still in readiness to cast banishment again.
Okay, freaking out, this egg hunter's gonna try to run away. Attacks from opportunity from Xanthia, Scotty if you want, and Amalia.
Double check and see if I've got. I can cast a spell at. With my things. I'm going to work on that. Just bear with me.
4,
Everyone carry on while I'm doing
5,
nonsense.
6.
I got a 19 to hit.
Hits 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wait, sorry. Wrong. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. He's starting to climb down.
And that would be 6 points of damage from me.
Okay.
My action is I cast a spell.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast. It's going to be Venom Lash.
Okay.
I cast Venom Lash.
A giant venomous viper erupts out of your hand.
And I'm kind of like it's kind of like how I'm imagining. I'm kind of like almost the blade has kind of fused as part of it, and the two prongs are kind of like almost like moving, like the little tongues and kind of lip out. So that is a ranged melee spell attack.
Yep.
So I think I just have to do this. There's a 25 hit.
25 does hit.
Okay, it automatically takes the damage. I pull it 10 feet closer to me.
Okay, so 5, 10.
There's no saving throw. It gets pulled straight towards me 10 feet.
You reduced its movement by 10 feet, but it's still going to move away.
Yeah, that's fine. And because I'm doing it at 4th level, it's this amount of damage, 17 points of, and I'll just double check. I think this is piercing damage, and this is poisoned until the spell ends.
Looking real
while
rough.
Poisoned,
He's still alive.
while
but
poisoned
real.
by this spell, its speed is halved, and it takes another. It's going to take another 48 poison damage at the start of its next turn.
Okay, so it halved, so it would have been from 40, moves to 30, so 5, 10, 15. That's how far it gets. Xanthia, your turn.
Since getting this spell, this is my anti-runaway spell, and I like it.
Oh wait, no, he can dash, so 5, 10, 15, 20. He still gets that far because he's dashing, basically, to get away. Xanthia, your turn.
I'm gonna attack the one that is still, right in front of me.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
That would be a 26 to hit.
Easy enough. You just stab it with its fork and then twist the trident to break its back and it's dead.
Cool. And I don't know. Don't think I'm gonna do anything else, to be honest.
Okay. Amalia, your turn.
Oh, there's nothing for me to do. They're all dead.
There's one more. It's a few feet south of you.
Few feet south of me. Okay, which me? The Echo me or the me?
You can just about reach it if you move.
Okay, me move.
Okay.
And me slash.
Cool, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay.
Sorry, what?
19.
Hits. Go ahead and roll damage. It's going to use its
Gimme.
reaction to halve it.
14!
Half to 7 still kills it. And this one you do just don't, and you full on just butcher it. Which
Slashy slash.
brings us to the end of combat.
Question, what is it? Like, what's the creature?
Egg Hunter is the name.
So, you know that, like, dressing, like, you know when you cut, like, basil for a salad and you make it really fine and teeny tiny?
Yes.
That is what I have butchered this thing into.
They smell pretty gross as well. It's kind of like if you ever accidentally, like... It's like when you turn the barbecue on after winter and didn't know there was an ant, like, colony that had set up shop inside. That's that smell.
Yeah.
But yes, the Egg Hunters have all been slain.
Illyria says, "Well done, everyone, but we haven't got long, so do we want to make sure we've done everything and then we go?"
Is there any sign of the creature that put the Egg Hunters in there in the first place? As I don't think those are the original things. They seem like the drones, the babies before the big mum.
Make an investigation check.
Oh, that's not very good. Oh, 15.
You don't see any signs of any other creatures that had inhabited this area. I'll say, Bithynia, as part of your previous role, you would know that these Egg Hunters look like adults.
Scotinos' next turn, by the way, he's going to go over and he's going to cure the poison on Bithynia, so we should all now be back to normal movement.
Okay. For the purposes of brevity, I'll say you all quickly scramble away before the spell on the Griffins ends. And whilst you are hiding in an alcove, basically further down. So you basically rappelled back down the... I'm not going to make you roll for it. You rappelled back down the side of the cliff, and sort of just hiding in an alcove, and you hear the Griffins come back and just cry out wildly, but they seem to smell it. You hear smelling sounds, but then things seem to go quiet. And Helena says, "Final tally. 1 points at Bithynia. 0, I believe, points at you, Botch."
I'm still raging, so I would like to.
Oh no.
What would I like to do here?
This is Sparta, off the edge.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna.
myself off the cliff, by the way.
I would like to take one of the eggs that's in the nest and just shot put it as hard as I can, just in the air, just like Aah!
So
because I'm still raging.
you wouldn't. So you guys aren't at the nest anymore. You scrambled away because Helena had like 7 rounds left.
I was looking at the way the battle map.
Sorry, yes,
was.
I will actually transition away from that, as that is no longer applies. In fact, I'll just close Foundry altogether.
Yeah, that's fair enough. In that case, then, I would like to take my scythe and just drive it as hard as I can into the ground and just go.
And
have a little mini tantrum for a second.
So the camera pans to a aerial shot from like a mile away of the karst, and for the second time in the same evening, a massively loud "fuck, fuck, fuck, fuck" just echoed. You just see a shot of the nearby woods as birds fly out. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Chef's kiss.
Also, can I just say, fuck everyone else for making it so that I couldn't score a point, okay? Just saying.
Sorry.
Unfortunately, when it comes to kill scoring, a warlock that has high burst damage has an edge.
Arguably, I like, you know when you like ask someone to help them open a jar for you,
Yeah.
and then they like get it, and then you're like, I loosened it. I feel like I could have had 2 of those based on the damage I did on the first one.
Yeah.
You win either way.
It's true.
So
Oh,
Marcus,
man.
Alira's probably going, oh, I did stop 2 griffins, though, so...
I'm mad in game and in real life.
I agree. I agree. LOLE. A wonderful way to end this session. So much so, I'm gonna do a free for myself. Bithynia, yay.
Nice.
alright, so
yes.
this favor.
Thank you so much for
Hey,
everybody.
it's an open-ended
Yeah.
thing, all right? You can claim it at any time.
You're definitely plotting how to get her back, though, Botch, I presume.
Oh, fuck
Hey,
yes.
Bithynia, how much do you want for that favor? I mean, I'm guessing it's a commodity we can trade, right?
Absolutely
I have a very
fucking
specific
not.
thing that I need help with.
You'll have
I
ample opportunity to discuss this next time. I'm just conscious of Rebecca's schedule. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in to this bird brain session. That was terrible. As always, we love you all very much, and tune in next time for more ancient Greek-themed D&D shenanigans. We are DC30. Have a good evening.
Bye.